just check where the stream last went off. And I will continue on that part, I guess. Not sure what else I could do. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just looking up my VOD so I can see where I left it. It's around when we wake up, so I'll just reload. Here? No. Ah! Okay, no reloading for me then. Oops. Okay, whatever. Okay, so basically what we missed, I think, was just him telling us that we can use the bathroom when we wake up, and we seem tired, so he didn't want to wake us up. That's about it. That's all you guys missed. So yeah, he seemed to have everything you'd find in a modern bathroom: a sink with a cabinet, a shower, and a tub, even a toilet. Curious, I crept over to the toilet in particular, inspecting it. There wasn't a tank like you'd expect where the water would be stored. Instead, there was a compartment to the side full of sawdust and a scoop. I expected it to have at least a bit of a smell, but it was surprisingly odorless. There was even a roll of toilet paper on the side. How did you get toilet paper, my guy? It was no flushing system, but it was hygienic. Mychael must have done his research. Walking over to the sink, I stared at the faucet before hesitantly twisting it. I jumped when I hear the rush of water pouring in, swirling in the basin before disappearing to who knows where. Wow. Why am I impressed by a damn functioning bathroom sink? I helped with the dishes last night. I thought you already knew Mychael had a plumbing. Shaking my head, I finished freshening up and headed to the kitchen. Mychael looked up as I entered, a steaming kettle in his hand with 2 empty mugs on the counter. Might have been the lighting, but he was taller than I remembered. Glancing to the table, I could see he already finished plating up our food. Oh, wow. You work fast. Mychael looked proud of himself. He's so cute. Can't have my guest stay on his empty stomach. Go on, have a seat. I'll join you in a moment. I returned his smile and sat down, stomach rumbling as I looked at our plates. Once again, Mychael was generous with the serving sizes. That looks good. Fat slices of bread were toasted perfectly with crisp butter sides, bright red tomato slices, and a crisp salad plate peeking underneath the fluffy eggs. It looked amazingly tantalizing, the smell of savory herbs wafting into my nose. My mouth watered. Mychael set down a steaming mug beside me before settling into his own seat. Peeking above the rim, I could see small flowers floating about, tinting the water yellow. It faintly smelled of apples. Recognized the yellow dried pellets on tea packaging I've seen before. Ooh, chamomile? He nodded. I hope you like it. I'm sure I will. His smile widened, his tail swaying at the tip by his feet. He seemed more relaxed, showing his natural features this morning. Any trace of panic and hesitation from last night were gone, replaced by a look of contentment. Mychael bit into his toast, and I followed suit. The food was as delicious as I expected. The chunk of toast I bit into was heavenly, the butter sweet on my tongue. The tomato and salad provided a nice crisp balance. And the eggs! Something about simple home-cooked food is just the best. Mychael was happy to eat in silence, occasionally looking up at me as I enjoyed my food. He would smile when our eyes met, his bottom pair narrowing into happy squint. Aww. I wonder if he'd be open to some questions. Hey, you mind if I ask? Let's save. Okay, I'm gonna try. He doesn't. How do you have plumbing? How did you learn to cook? And what it's like living in the woods? I want to know about the plumbing most of all. I know it's a silly question, but I can't stop thinking about it. Oh, you were wondering about that? The embarrassed look on my face was probably enough for an answer. Aw, well, it's nothing fascinating. It's just rainwater I've got stored above the cabin. Just rainwater? He nodded. I detected a hint of pride as he continued. It's actually a recent installment, believe it or not. Granted, the project took a while. Gathering materials, figuring out the tools, finding the right instruction manuals. Plus, I had to figure out where to store the water tank. Don't worry, I installed a filtration system so it's safe for us to use. Check in every few weeks to make sure nothing's contaminated. That sounded daunting, especially considering he lived all the way out here in the woods. You did all that on your own? Kinda had to. Anyway, it took a whole lot of calibrating and adjusting, but it really worked out. Now that I think about it, I'm glad you get to be comfortable here during your stay too. Does that answer your question? Where did you learn how to do all that? I had to figure out a lot of things on my own. There was a faint hint of exhaustion in his eyes. But to answer your question, I go to libraries a lot. It's where I learned about the majority of things. The fact that he even ventured into buildings at all had already surprised me. And if I'm real lucky, they have all these neat DIYs and workshop manuals archived for anyone to browse through. Took a while to figure everything out. A really long time, actually. But hey, I had nothing but time. And it paid off. I'm considering upgrading the toilet next, but for now, the composting setup works fine. Learned about that in an old camping guide. He paused to take a breath, as if he hadn't talked this much in a while. I'm rambling, but that's how I did it. I think a handyman is like really hot. Back in high school, I saw like this guy use a chainsaw for like an art project, and I immediately got a little crush. I'm that simple, guys. Is there anything else you want to ask? You've been to libraries? His ears perked up, posture straightening. Sorry, I can't read that language. I usually use YouTube translators to read that. Oh yeah, I can't tell you enough how much books have helped me. I've made it this far only because I quickly figured out how to read. Oh, he's so nice. Figured out that I can read. Do you visit often? My early days? Any chance I could get. Nowadays I stick to my side of the forest though. Gotta make sure people don't wander too far off than they're meant to. I paused in my chewing at the teasing lilt in his voice. Hey, I'm joking. Anyways, if you're wondering what I do about this, he gestured towards his face. I just have to make sure everything's covered. You'd be surprised how little people pay attention to me when I bundle up just right. Do people not give you trouble? He shrugged nonchalantly. Small town libraries are usually so empty from my experience. And people just mind their own business there. I guess that's true. I can't remember the last time I visited the library. I guess libraries would be Mychael's equivalent to the World Wide Web. I should introduce him to the internet sometime. Actually, maybe not. Not without parental controls. Finally satisfied, I nodded and went back to eating my food. How is it like living in the woods? I still can't believe how cozy you've managed to make it, considering the whole middle of nowhere thing. It wasn't like this when I found it. No? It was a major, fixer-upper? So the cabin was abandoned? I never would have guessed. Yeah, I'm really happy I get to live somewhere permanent for once. It's not much, but it's home. What's it like? Peaceful, quiet. I do like it a lot. The forest provides me with everything I need. And nobody bothers me for the way I look out here. His ears twitched slightly. Sometimes you just happen to end up where it's most convenient for you and everyone else. The way he avoided my eyes as he said that gives me the impression that there's something more to it. Like, his home wasn't just out of convenience, but a fear of something else? Rejection, perhaps? Poor baby! Or something worse. Anyway, I don't really have anything to say about it, unless there's something specific you want to ask. He doesn't think about his answer much before beaming at me. What about you? I know you've told me a little bit about yourself, but what's it like being you? I scoffed, waving a hand. Please, I'm the least interesting person in this room, trust me. Oh, his eyes were shining in earnest as he leaned forward. Tell me anyway. Oh, well, I told him about my life. At least the parts I was comfortable with sharing. Just like last night, his eyes didn't leave my face, occasionally darting about my features and interests. The direct ogling was making me nervous, but I suppose I was doing the exact same thing when it was his turn to talk. Eventually I came to the topic of my job and the woes of living in modern capitalism. I am a bit jealous. You have the whole cottagecore aesthetic practically perfect. His face morphed into a confused pout. Cottagecore? I explained it to him in my own words. Oh, you're saying you want to live the way I do? Out in the woods? I nodded without hesitation. I mean, I wouldn't mind showing you the ropes. His tone seemed strangely lilted. What do you mean? Never mind. Anyways, I don't get what the appeal is, but it's not easy either, you know? The forest provides, but it's up to me to make use of it. Starting out was a dark look across his face then, as if reliving a bitter memory. Rough. But I'm built for survival. I feel like asking him to elaborate would make things awkward. I decided to veer into a different direction. Doesn't it get lonely? Sometimes, but I'm used to it. He smiled, his eyes lighting up. Besides, I have you at the moment, don't I? Never thought I'd enjoy having someone around. It must be really special. Am I? Ooh. How did you learn how to cook? Cottage pie is a pretty complicated recipe. I just wonder if anyone taught you how to cook? I'd be lucky if someone could teach me how to make boiled eggs, Firefly. But it was trial and error, mostly. My earlier endeavors were, pretty much inedible. Picked up a thing or two about cooking, though, so your taste buds aren't gonna fall victim to nasty creations like in my early days, at least. Hi, oh, you heard I was streaming? You heard from where? I didn't contact you. Hi, DHL. Thanks for coming. Speaking of, did you enjoy dinner last night? Of course I did. You're a really good cook, Mychael. I'm glad. It probably wasn't obvious, but I'm really happy I got to cook for you. I don't get guests often, in case you couldn't tell. I should ask you to cook for me every day then. He grinned at my joke, looking pleased. I'd be happy to. I chuckled as I took another bite. So what's your favorite thing to cook? He lit up at the question. Fried mushrooms. I love mushrooms! Oh, you got notifications? Oh, you put on notifications? Oh, thank you. Fried mushrooms? Yeah. There's plenty to find and it's easy to make. I do remember finding a patch of mushrooms yesterday. They smelled pretty funky though. You remember that? Huh? What was that? Nothing. Anyway, mushrooms were the only thing I had for a while, before figuring out I could eat other stuff, like roots and veggies. So, he he wasn't always like this. He didn't know what food he can eat and cannot eat. Very interesting. Do you forage all your ingredients? Mostly. The times I figured out how to catch fish and hunt game were the best of my life, I'll tell you that. My first taste of meat? He did an awkward version of a chef's kiss, as if mimicking something he saw on television once. Mom or me? Mom or me? Oh, baby, you're trying so hard. You're so lovely. Was he trying to say Mom or me, huh? It continued before I could even dwell on it for a second longer. But nothing beats what you humans are able to make. You guys go nuts with ingredients. Rice was a challenge. I love rice. It's a precious ingredient since I have to actually get some from a store, but once I figured out how to make it nice and fluffy, I consider it a special treat. I like him, he likes rice. I love you. I did a double take. You go to the store? Yeah? Where else would I get it? I thought you would grow it yourself, or something. He laughed as I flushed in embarrassment. It's flattering you'd think I'm even capable of something that impressive, but no. There's only so much the forest can provide. But what about money? We're talking about human currency, right? Otherwise, how would you even... Do you actually have a job? A thought occurred to me. Or did you steal it? He almost looked offended. Do you take me for a criminal? No. But that would mean... Then, how? Mychael bit into his toast, his two eyes winking in mischief. I have my ways, Firefly. What's that supposed to mean? I'm starting to know a lot more about Mychael. He didn't directly say it, but it felt like he was lonelier than he was letting on. The only thing you can grow is fat? Me too. Not to mention how he managed to make a home for himself, all on his own. I had to wonder if he had anyone at all. Do you have any family around? Family? His expression turned solemn for a moment before he looked sheepish. Remind me how that works again? I get the concept based on some books I've read. I don't have what you call parents, if that's what you're asking. My mouth dropped open in shock. No parents? He shrugged and took another bite of toast. Not that I recall. Then how did you... What's that like? Living with so many people like you in such a close proximity. Huh? That's how it works, right? You and other humans living in one house. You have this, DNA thing that makes you relate to the rest. That's what makes a family, right? Was he talking about DNA? His definition threw me off, but I had to answer somehow. Not just that. Family is... Where? Oh. People you're related to, like your mom and your dad and your siblings. People that you love and care about, who love and care about you too. Actually, they are just people you live in close proximity to, whether by choice or not. I like the second one. People that you love and care about, who love and care about you too. He seemed intrigued. Is that so? That does sound nice. Is there anyone that you love and care about? I have both? Well, I guess I'll just do the definition of family then, since we're talking about family, but I have friends. Heck, I even call my cat family. Ah, right. Obviously. And this is the same for all families? I bit my lip, pondering the question. It would be naive to think that. A lot of families do love and take care of one another, but not everything's perfect. Sometimes that love can be misplaced, or taken advantage of, or even abused. Mychael looked thoughtful. So it starts with love. I've read some stories about that. Oh well? Love, I mean. Though certain feelings just doesn't make sense to me, at least from a reader's perspective. Guess you'd have to experience it for yourself to understand. He stared at me unblinking for a moment. Yeah, you might be right. Never considered that. Then again, no baby! Who would bother loving a monster like me, huh? I would! Raising hands right now, I would! I volunteer! What? You're not a monster! No, you don't. I look like one, don't I? You look so cute. What do you mean? That's besides the point. You're not denying it, though. I'm just saying, it's okay. You don't have to lie to me. I think he looks adorable! So, family? Does he blush blue? Yes, he does! Right. To be fair, everyone's definition of family could be different. What about you? What's your definition of family? Mychael looked surprised I asked him that question. I don't know. I've never had one. And I think your answer just confused me more. Well, if you ever figure it out, let me know. Mychael stared at the remaining crumbs on his plate before he nodded, avoiding my gaze. Sure. We both fell quiet, the lull in conversation blanketing us in a comfortable silence. All this family talk, it reminded me of the reason why I'm out here in the first place. To look for my beloved cat, a sight I might never be able to see again. Couldn't help the stinking feeling in my chest, the growing pit in my stomach. I wish I was able to find Kneecap. I would have loved him. Mychael opened his mouth to say something, but changed his mind. My voice warbled as a lump formed in my throat. Sorry. I just miss him so much. Keep thinking if I just went looking for him sooner, maybe I would have been able to find him by now. He was quick to speak up. You did your best, Firefly. No one else could have gone to the lengths that you did. You almost risked getting yourself. I'm sure wherever he is, he's doing okay. You really think so? I know so. His voice was laced with a confident assurance, despite the worried look on his face. Nodded with a quick sniff. Hope so. He's just important to me, is all. Mychael looked like he wanted to reach across the table for me, but sighed instead. Actually, I'm sorry, but if we ate our cat, I'm going to scream. I should tell you. Okay. Maybe I do have family, now that I think about it. That was the surprise I mentioned before. Wait, really? He nodded. Are you done? I could take you to go meet them right now. Meeting the family? Immediately? Wow. I looked down at my plate. During the conversation, I didn't even realize I'd finished with the meal. Yeah, I'm done. His movements were quick, stacking our empty plates and mugs and setting them in the sink. He grasped my hand before I could say another word, pulling me up and heading outside with me in tow. As the door swung open, I could only see Forest ahead, before he tugged me along as he rounded the side of the cabin. He has his own garden! Almost immediately, my peripherals were assaulted with greens from both sides. Figured he was the type to grow his own vegetables, but to see it in person as confirmation was a whole different thing. With Mychael leading the way, I only had a moment to take in the surrounding garden. I'd marked the different plots with messy drawings on a small wooden sign jutting out of the dirt. Carrots, lettuce, potatoes, trellises of tomatoes and beans. Wouldn't have been able to differentiate one plant to another without the signs. Even the chamomile from our tea just now grew abundant close by, the small buds swaying gently. I bumped into Mychael as he suddenly stopped, the man looking over his shoulder to beam at me. We reached what looked like a fenced-off area, with a bit of netting stretching all around. He stepped aside, watching me as my eyes widened. Chickens! My god, you're so cute! Three fat, happy little hens strutted about like they owned the place. As he entered through the gate, the hens swarmed over in an instant at Mychael's feet, circling him and pecking at his boots. Ladies, meet Vere. Vere, these are mawar, an Indonesian word? Malay word? Maybe? Mawar, Sun Yusu, and Primrose. Primrose! I love primroses. Or as I like to call them, Marmar, Sunny, and Rosie. The one on the right is the happiest. Primrose, Dad. He ducked to... Men with animals are my weak spot. He ducked to pick one up, fluffing up her feathers as she smiled. He gently scratched the hen's little head, which I assumed was Rosie. Never mind, I'm stupid. This is Rosie. Wait, no, yeah, Primrose. She practically melted at his pampering, eyes lighting shut. The other two flapped their wings in a huff and went about their business once more. Mychael leaned closer, beckoning me to pet Rosie. She was so soft. I want chickens. I want to have chickens too. Rosie's the oldest. She doesn't lay eggs anymore, but I couldn't bring myself to, So I brought her some friends. Marmar came first. Sunny's a more recent addition. What do you think? Did we make a good family? Yes! I laughed and nodded, watching as Rosie nuzzled into Mychael's chest. Oh, this is so cute! What the fuck? That's not okay. You can't assault me like that. That's so cute. I didn't expect chickens of all things. Were you expecting something else? I was expecting it to be someone else. Oh. No. When you look like me, people generally don't stick around. Do not bite. It won't bite. It's such a good girl. Why would she bite? There's that negative self-talk again. You don't even look that bad. His eyes flicked to mine, a look of pleasant surprise crossing his face. You really think so? You're so cute. Yeah? You can't be that naive, Firefly. I mean it. He let out a polite scoff as he scratched Rosie's head absently. He genuinely believed people wouldn't run away at the sight of me. Well, I didn't. His smile turned smug, the corners of his lips lifting just a bit. Not Rosie, you don't bite. He doesn't bite. Yeah, he doesn't bite. He's a good boy. Of course you didn't. Because you couldn't. Shoot. He wasn't wrong. I was pretty much paralyzed in his bed when we first met. But I still don't think you look that bad. Is that so? Describe me then. What? You heard me. Look at me and describe what you see. He's just a good boy. He looks like a good boy. What to describe? He's a fluffy good boy. For a second I thought he was being condescending, but looking at his eyes, all I could see was a bit of playfulness. He looked at me expectantly, eyes shining. You're tall? Go on. Have blonde hair? He gave an amused squint, his left ear twitching. What else? Have green skin and a tail. Oh, cute tail. I want to honk the mushrooms so bad. He chuckled, though there was no malice in it. But that's not all, is it? He definitely expected me to say it straight. You're fine. So you don't look human. So what? He hummed absently. As I was saying, animals generally don't care if you look like a monster. My heart twisted at his words. His passive nonchalance somehow makes it even worse. Mychael, you're not a A tug at my shoelace caught my attention. It's Mawar, isn't it? No, it's Sunny. Yeah. A light brown hen stood at my feet, her beady eyes shining. I want chickens. Did you know, the online store in my country actually sells live chickens? So, if after stream I want to buy chickens because of this, I can? It's crazy. The internet is wild these days. Stay safe, y'all. I can also buy, goats. I remember looking up goats, dogs, sheeps. They weren't that expensive. I wanted one so bad. A light brown hen stood. Oh, yeah, I already did that. Sunny flapped her wings almost expectantly. Aww, I think she likes you. Go ahead, pick her up gently, like how I did with Rosie. We have that here. You know a place? You know a place? There's farms? I want to go to a farm. I want to go to a petting zoo. I hesitated, but slowly lowered myself to cup Sunny by her wings. Lifting her up, she was quick to nestle herself until she was comfortably tucked under my arms. What a good girl! I could feel her wings wiggling as she nestled into my side. So cute! I would squeeze. No, I wouldn't squeeze. I want to squeeze. Mychael's gaze softened as I cooed at the chicken, mimicking her small clucks. So, did it help? Cheering you up, I mean. Oh, so that's what this was. A fuzzy feeling bloomed in my chest as he looked at me, chicken in his arm and concern on his face. Little bit, yeah. You live like 30 minutes away from farmland? I'm jealous. I wanna pet cows. I wanna snuggle into a sheep. There's a petting zoo, really? I should go to a zoo. It's been so long since I've went to a zoo. Only a little? I snickered, rolling my eyes. Okay, mister, a lot. That's more like it. His proud grin was infectious. I couldn't help smiling back. We spent a bit more time with the hens, petting them until they were satisfied. But Mama isn't getting pet, poor baby. Mychael even showed me the spots where they like to have their dust baths, like little chicken-shaped holes scattered about in the dry soil underneath the coop. That sounds cute. Once the cows had enough of us, we refilled their water container before leaving. Left them some treats, procuring them straight out of his pockets before shutting the gate. A zoo with a petting part with cows? I've milked cows before when I was 9? I was very good at it. I didn't spill anything. I'm a good girl. Born for farming. The girls' excited chatter over the food faded as we make our way back inside his cabin. I sat by his bed as he crouched down by the fireplace. Bunnies! I love bunnies too! From the window, I could see the sun outside was getting higher. It might be close to afternoon now. Hey, Mychael? He looked up at me from where he was stoking the fire. I rubbed my arms, unsure where to place my gaze. I think it's a good time for me to go now. I didn't. My expression fell, but I caught myself quickly. He had done his best to cheer me up. It'll be inconsiderate towards him to leave in a bad mood. I might have to accept that I'll never see Kneecap again. I think it's better if I focus on moving on. He was quiet for a moment, hands in his pockets. If you say so. But you don't have to leave just yet. We've still got plenty of daylight left, and there's some places I want to show you. Won't you come with me? I had to decide. What the fuck? Okay, I was actually really scared there. Okay, goosebumps. I promise I'll take you home right after. He took another step towards me. Please, Firefly? I'm scared now. I don't like it. I didn't want to say it, but he looked desperate. I'm gonna say I am scared. Okay. I'll go with you. I spent an hour talking about how cute he is, and all I could think about was, wow, they can make yanderes cute too. And now I am not sure anymore. I am scared. The joy on his face was shining bright as a billboard. Great. Let me get our stuff. He disappeared into the kitchen, returning with my backpack in one hand and a satchel in the other. Passed it to me as he walked by towards the front door. I almost forgot I had this. Rifling through my bag, I found cat treats, Kneecap's collar, a broken compass, and my phone! The battery was dead, though. Still, that's one less thing to worry about. I checked through my bag once more, finding an empty water bottle. I frowned, distinctly remembering I forgot to pack water for my trip. No, I think she did, didn't she? I remember she did. Am I high? Oh yeah, that part I remember. Or at least Mychael told me I did. Didn't I? You ready? Oh, I don't like hunting. I looked up at Mychael, startling when I spotted the large crossbow in his hand. He followed my gaze and shrugged, albeit with a nervous smile, like he had been caught doing something he shouldn't be. He quickly strapped the weapon to his back and out of sight. Don't worry, I'm not gonna use it unless necessary. I would hope not. He chuckled at my indignant tone. Whoever made this game, the colors are super nice. You think I'm gonna let you out into the woods without guaranteeing your safety? I made a promise to get you home, so this is just an extra precaution. Don't think it's a bit much? Better safe than sorry, Firefly. He did have a point. If anyone knew these woods and the kind of danger it held, it'd be Mychael. I glanced over him again, noticing he had changed his oversized cardigan for something more outdoor appropriate. His eyes tracked mine, his shoulders stiffening as a tint spread across his face. So, shall we? He opened the door and waved me out. I stepped outside to glance around his front yard. The landscape wasn't anything special. It was actually left quite plain, just thick with trees and foliage. Only paths of dirt and flattened grass clued me in the routes Mychael would use as he comes and goes, webbing in all directions trailing to the front door. Come to think of it, anyone passing through would be able to spot Mychael's house if they squinted through the trees carefully enough. I guess he was right that nobody's walked through this area in years. I heard a lock turn before Mychael joined me by my side. He smiled wide before tipping his head in the direction, making sure I was behind him before he started walking. I was hesitant but followed suit. It was quiet as we traveled, save for the sounds of nature calling out around us. The weather was bright and warm, the sun casting pretty rays through the gaps in the trees. Had to admit, enjoyable as it was, the bird calls and rustling of leaves as we walked somewhat brought bad memories. Yesterday was miserable. I was lost, tired, and hungry. There was a chance I wasn't going to make it out alive. Watched Mychael's back as he led the way, the man barely paying any mind to his surroundings. His ears would occasionally flick back in my direction, but overall he seemed confident on where to go. Having Mychael as my guide home was definitely a great assurance. It made me even more grateful he'd found me when he did. He sighed and shook off the negative feelings, keeping pace while appreciating the fresh air. I stepped up next to my companion, willing my voice to speak after plenty of silence. This is actually kinda nice. A good old nature walk. I coughed into my fist, feeling embarrassed. I don't go outside as often as I should. Mychael smiled kindly. I'm glad I get to bring you then. Yeah, feels different when you know where you're going. Actually, where are we going? He sensed my nervousness and laughed. Don't worry, we're almost there. Looked up and saw it before he even pointed it out. A clearing in the distance, the trees growing strangely sparse in that area. That's so pretty yellow flowers. I held my breath as I noticed the grass slowly started to dot with flowers, delicate blooms swaying here and there in the breeze. As we got closer, Mychael watched me as my mouth dropped open, a knowing twinkle in his eyes. It was breathtaking. Secluded little meadow of flowers, lit up by beams of light, making the scenery resemble a page from a forgotten fairy tale. Butterflies flitted about in pairs, their wings flickering and complementing the surreal yet enchanting ambience of the whole place. Mychael let me gawk some more before walking ahead, turning to face me before sitting down to relax on the grass. Slipped off his satchel, and laid it down on the grass by his side along with his crossbow. Blinked out of my stupor and approached him, spinning around to drink everything in before plopping myself down next to him. So, what do you think? Pretty, isn't it? Aww. I nodded dumbly before finally glancing to see him, the man's gaze on me softening as our eyes meet. A butterfly approached us rapidly, making me flinch on instinct. I actually hate butterflies, they're scary. Aww. It landed on his fingers as he held it out, its wings flapping gently. He smiled at the dainty creature, a fond look in his eyes before he held it out towards me. No, don't please, no. Ugh. Do you like butterflies, Bere? No, I do not, actually. I really don't. I cry out in fear when I see one. I'm scared of them, actually. Mychael's eyes widened, a look of guilt flashing across his face. It's okay. He slowly lowered his head, the butterfly, menace, still perched on his fingertip. Oh no, this place has to be your worst nightmare. I'm sorry, we can leave right now if you want to. I love flowers, though. I inhaled a breath before shaking my head. I still want to be here. It's okay, Mychael. I eyed the insect crawling on his finger, wings gently flapping. I leaned over to Mychael slowly. Promise you'll keep them off me, though? Mychael looked at me with a playful grin. I won't let a single wing tip even brush you, Firefly. He sounded so determined I had to snort with laughter, forgetting my fears in an instant. The sun was at its peak now, the air getting warmer as minutes passed. The leafy canopy over us provided enough cover for us not to overheat. Mychael picked a flower with his other hand and placed it in my palm, his tail looping loosely around us both as my cheeks darkened. Closed his eyes and leaned back further, the butterfly still resting on his hand. My ears caught a soft rumbling before I realized it was coming from his direction. Is he purring? Oh my god! I almost wanted to ask, but I didn't want to ruin the moment. My gaze dropped as I twirled the flower in my hand, holding the stem delicately. The gesture felt platonic, but also romantic. I wonder if Mychael was even interested in relationships. He had been alone for most of his life. He'd probably get tired of my presence sooner or later. Before I could contemplate further, the butterfly on Mychael's finger took off, my gaze trailing after it as it left the sunlight and flew away into the woods. Which reminds me, Mychael? Don't get me wrong. This place is stunning, but is it okay if we go now? He straightened from his relaxed slouch. Why? We just got here. I chewed on my lip, hesitating. Flutter by? I love it here, I do. But I want to go home, Mychael. Mychael studied my face. Vere, do you want to leave me that badly? No, I just have obligations. You can come over. What? No. I need time to recover from losing Kneecap. I know it's silly and dramatic, but knowing he won't be there when I get home, it trailed off, another shot of guilt and regret filling my heart. I just need to get it done with. Felt a hand rubbing my back. Mychael nodded slowly, looking me in the eyes. His smile was gentle. That's okay. I understand. But maybe this place can help with that. It's a nice spot to nap in, isn't it? I picked it out just for you. Why don't you go ahead and lie down? His words made you sway. A sudden bout of sleepiness weighed heavy over your eyelids. He was right. It is a nice spot to nap in. Why were you in such a hurry? You yawned, laying back to stretch on the grass. The warmth from the ground seeped through your clothes, lulling you into a sense of comfort and safety. There you go. Just, just spend some time with me. Just a bit more. Please? Oh, here's something else I could show you. He reached into his satchel and pulled out a wooden box. A kalimba? I have one! It's called a kalimba. It blinked slowly, clarity coming back as I shook my head to pay attention. The box fit neatly in his hands, Mychael holding it as if he were typing on a phone. I could see it had a hole in the middle with thin strips of metal arranged in a triangular shape over it. What does it do? A proud smirk spreads across his face. I'll show you. I love kalimbas! I should learn. I haven't practiced in a while. He began to pluck at the metallic prongs, a gentle ringing sound resonating with every flick of his thumbs. He couldn't recognize the song. He might have made it up himself. I closed my eyes, enjoying the tune. Mychael gave a soft chuckle as he kept playing. Relax and listen as long as you'd like, Firefly. A few minutes passed by with Mychael plucking away at the instrument, the two of us sunbathing like two cats on a Sunday afternoon. I must have dozed as the next thing I felt was a nudge on my shoulder. Comfy? Yeah? He chuckled low and I refused to open my eyes. I mean, if you'd rather stay. Pretty! I wanna make flower crowns! My eyes shot open, my whole body jerking to sit up. Mychael glanced at me, kalimba in his lap and a half of forget-me-not chain in his hands. Aww. What? I shook my head, slapping at my cheeks. Can't believe I fell asleep. I still need to. It's alright. He cut me off. His sigh was heavy. I was hoping, never mind. He patted my shoulder, though his smile didn't reach his eyes. Thanks for being here with me. Maybe we can do this again sometime. Yeah, sometime. I'd like that. If I ever see you again. Well, you said you can go to towns. Just visit. Come over. Chill. You don't have to kidnap me. You can come over. We can be buddies. Let's get you home. He rolled over to his feet and stood up, brushing off dirt and fixing his satchel. Come on. We gathered our things and set off into the unknown once more. Well, unknown to me, at least. Mychael seems to have a map of this place ingrained in his brain. You seem a bit sleepy still, so let's freshen up, okay? We walked a bit further away from the clearing, coming across a river. Compared to the rest of the path we walked, the area was shaded considerably with a thick canopy of leaves over us. The flowing water looked inviting as I kneeled down by the bank, Mychael idling close by. Dipped my hand in, eager to wash my face. The water was refreshing and cooled my heated skin in the afternoon sun. Oh, he's so cute. I pulled my hands back to see Mychael peeking over my shoulder into my reflection, smiling with a faraway look on his face. He startled as our gazes meet, irises darting away to look at himself instead. Immediately his expression changed. Aww, baby, you look fine. His ears flattened, a grimace twisting his features as his lips curled back. Interesting thought. What if he likes us just because he likes the face of humans? Not necessarily he likes us, he just wants to keep us because we look human. And because he hates himself. Interesting. I had never seen such contempt in his eyes as I did then, staring at his own visage. He stepped away, retreating underneath the cover of a tree to lean against it with crossed arms. He doesn't notice me watching. I patted my hands dry on my shirt and approached him. You ready? Yeah. I stopped him before he could turn to leave. He wants your face? Well, that makes me scared. Thank you very much for saying that, asshole. Looked at me with a questioning look, tipping his head. I hesitated. I wasn't the type to speak my mind directly. Most of the time I'd keep things to myself and let things go by. But nobody should look at themselves and have that sort of reaction. Hey, you know you're not. I might as well be frank. You're not a monster, Mychael. He looked taken aback. What makes you say that? I saw how you were looking at yourself. How you talk about yourself. None of it is true. I keep telling you, you're more than just your appearance. I don't know what compelled me to do it, but I did it anyway. Yeah, thank you, finally! I would have done that like ages ago. I reached for his hands and held them between us. His eyes widened at the contact. All it took was a day with you, and truthfully, I think you're the most amazing person I've ever met. He made a choked noise. I'm just some old nobody compared to you. That's not... Shut up and listen! He promptly shuts his mouth with an audible click of his teeth. From where I stand, you saved my life. Taken care of me better than I could ever ask for from a stranger. That already proves to me you're not the monster you think you are. You're charming, you're smart, you're sweet. You're a million more wonderful things, but you are not a monster. I take a second to compose myself, lowering my voice. You may look different, Mychael, but guess what? His multiple eyes stared into mine, ears flattening as if fearing the worst. That makes you all the more beautiful to me. His breath hitched. I could feel his hands squeezing mine, fingers trembling. It was like he forgot how to breathe. I realized my hands were getting sweaty. Me for real? Pulled away hastily, scratching at my neck and avoiding his gaze. I could feel the blood rush to my face. Could down my whole head in the river and it probably let off steam. Sorry, that came out of nowhere. It just didn't feel right if I didn't say anything. I hope you understand. An awkward silence passed between the two of us. Anyways, I caught him mumbling under his breath. Oh shit! Oh, we triggered the bad ending because we said he's. But you can go into towns. We can literally hang out. You don't have to keep me in a cage in your cabin in order for us to be friends. Oh my fucking god! These guys, I swear. I can't let you leave. What? I said you can't leave. Not without your cat, right? Frowned. I've already tried, Mychael. Like you said, it was stupid for me to just wander off in the woods as if I'd find him through dumb luck. He paused, his fists clenching. But I haven't. Huh? I haven't tried. We can be pen pals. Like he can literally go into towns. He said like he goes to stores, he buys rice, he would visit libraries. We can literally be... Oh my fucking god. There's like skin makeup now. I've seen those on my Instagram. If he's so scared, he can do that. Like, oh my god, he literally have gone into towns. It doesn't matter. We could be friends. I could visit him at his cabin, though I'm too lazy, so he should visit the town and visit me. We can go be friends. You don't have to keep me. You don't have to be under it. Oh my god. I know these woods better than anyone. I can try looking for him. But that means you can't leave yet. Kale, I appreciate the offer, but I don't think I should stick around any longer. Have a job and responsibilities and you hissed in pain, a sudden migraine overcoming your senses. Felt sick, your stomach wringing itself into knots. I felt like the world was warping around you as your legs wobbled. His arms are just cosplay. Exactly! He's just a furry walking about. It's fine, it's normal these days. It's 2024. Oh my god. Your body buckled over as you resisted the urge to vomit. Mychael caught you as you slumped gracelessly to the ground, your head resting on his shoulder as he cradled you close. Hey, you don't look so good. Her vision doubled as he spoke, his speech oozing together words into its indecipherable mess. You okay? Need me to carry you home? Chill. The normal one, please. Okay, no problem. Just hang in there. Hang on to me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You don't deserve this. If I could just one more day with you, I'd be the happiest man alive. I swear, again, we could go in town, no problem. Here we are. Let's get you tucked in. Should give you some clothes. Especially since you'll be staying another night. You're okay with that, aren't you? Ugh. I blinked groggily awake to the gentle sounds of a crackling fire. The itchy texture of warm bed sheets, the weight of a heavy knit blanket. I could recall once or twice having felt these very sensations to the point I considered them familiar and comforting. And yet... boy, miscommunication. We couldn't just say, hey, I really like your company, don't leave. And I would totally invite you over. Bro, it's chill. Nothing could prepare me for the bright yellow eyes peering into mine. Oh my god, I'm sorry, I feel bad. My knuckles hit him square in the face as Mychael yelped, nose scrunching as the taller man stumbled backwards into his stool. He landed on his rear with the grace of a clumsy toddler on the floor. Sat up in a panic and immediately grimaced, landing back on the bed with an unceremonious flop. It hit me in one fell swoop how my whole body was aching. Every single one of my limbs felt like they had gone through a wringer and came out the other side all crinkled and wrong. I groaned aloud, leaning my head back on the pillow. Mychael shifted back onto his feet, rubbing his nose. That's a normal reaction? She's got a point? Yeah, but I feel bad. He's still kinda cute. This could all be solved if we just talked it out like normal adults, but no. I mean, he is a monster, so he probably doesn't understand, but still! Just talk to me, babe. Bere. His voice was an awkward croak before he cleared his throat. I'm glad you're awake. Well deserved, though. You should take that punch, yeah? How are you feeling? Terrible. He visibly flinched. Yeah, you better feel guilty. I'm sorry to hear that. He stepped closer to the bed, leaning over wearily in case my hand dramatically whips out again in self-defense. With my hand settled on my lap, he deemed it safe enough to sit beside me. What happened, Mychael? You don't remember? I shook my head, wincing a bit as my head pounded. Not at all. Mychael hesitated. You, tripped and hit your head. I had to carry you home? Okay, stop with the lying. I hate it when men lie. People lie, in general. Ugh. His words almost slurred together as he fidgeted. My head? I slowly lifted my hand to feel for bumps or bruises, but he hastily snatched my wrist. Don't worry about that. Here, have this. It'll help. Mychael gave me a familiar-looking drink as he quickly pressed the cup into my hands. Sitting up with some effort to take a sip, I couldn't help the small sense of déjà vu. The amount of times I woke up on his bed, dazed and disoriented, is almost uncomfortable now. At least the drink was helping, just like he promised. My body felt lighter as I finished. Mychael took the cup from me and set it aside before wringing his hands together with a nervousness I haven't seen in a while. So, I'm sorry this happened. Didn't mean for you to get hurt. I sighed and waved aside his worry with an embarrassed grumble. Wouldn't be the first time I tripped if you could believe it. It's not your fault. Yes, it is. He gave a soft chuckle, but it sounded guilty. I suppose you're right. It's just... His face looked like he had a million thoughts running through his head. I promised, didn't I? I said I was gonna look out for you. Yeah, and then you kidnapped me. I said I was gonna keep you safe. Instead, I made you hurt. His voice cracked. I'm so sorry, Vere. The sudden change in demeanor was startling, to say the least. Couldn't have predicted it was going to happen. And I'm fine, see? Oh, Firefly. I guess you're right. His expression carried a lingering doubt, but he quickly masked it with a small smile, his eyes dim. In that case, you'll be staying? The way he said it almost sounded like a decision that's already been made. Or a plea. What do you mean? His eyes darted aside. You agreed to let me find Kneecap, remember? Did I say that? Gaslighting! Yeah, so, you'll be staying a while longer, right? He didn't even let me get a word in. In fact, a feeling of uncertainty washed over me, as if we've had this conversation before. I don't think that's... Besides, what's the rush? It's already late, and you're in no condition to travel anyway. I blinked before glancing out the window. Pitch-black darkness greeted me as I realized he was right. Yet another uncanny feeling spread through my chest, shivers crawling down my spine. Don't know why, but something about this whole situation felt wrong. I feel like I'm forgetting something else. Mychael had a nervous look on his face. Maybe you hit your head harder than you thought? His words didn't sound confident. How long was I out? A couple hours, I think. You really took a hit. It was that bad? My brows creased as I tried to recall today's events. But I don't remember tripping. There was a river. I remember you. And then... Remembering must be fuzzy. And for good reason. After all, it's been a rough few days. My stomach rumbled suddenly, echoing in the quiet room. There was a heavy silence right after. Mychael was polite enough to hide his chuckle under a palm as I flushed. He seems relieved. Well, lucky for you, I've got dinner on the way. It should be ready soon. You're okay with soup, right? Soup. Soup sounds alright. My stomach growled once more, the pain of an empty gut making me wince a bit. My host noticed immediately. Oh, maybe you should get you some food sooner than later. Do you feel okay enough to get up? I nodded with a grumble, swinging my legs over the side of the bed before noticing something was on my lap. Wait, what's this? Oh my god. Chill, my guy. Oh god, cat soup. No, we ate like cottage pie with meat on the first day. So, yeah, kinda already ate the cat, sorry. I unbundled the pile of thick fabric, realizing it was an oversized sweater with a pair of baggy sweatpants. Mushroom pattern? That's oddly cute. The material felt warm but comfortable. A towel laid right next to them. Is this for me? Oh, figured since you'll be staying another night, you'd want some fresh clothes. There might be a few sizes bigger. Or a lot? Sorry. He had gotten shy for some reason. On the other hand, I didn't have to take a whiff at myself to know that I probably reek. And you were laying on the bed! Ah! I nodded again, giving him a small but grateful smile. You're fine, Mychael. Thank you. Yet another thing I had to owe him. Couldn't help but feeling like I'm taking advantage of his kindness now. Well, you know where the bathroom is? Take your time cleaning up. Be in the kitchen if you need anything. I'm really happy you're here. He stood there for a good few seconds, fidgeting with his hands as if he wanted to say more before finally heading to the kitchen. I watched his back retreat before hoisting myself up and heading to the bathroom. Now that I was alone, I had a moment to gather my thoughts. The nagging feeling was back, a prickling feeling across my skin, raising goosebumps as if to tell me I shouldn't be here. Just couldn't place my fingers on what. Shall we go full in into the yandere, or shall we be careful? Let's go full in first. I was probably just being paranoid. Whatever. Then again, it's been a while since I've showered, so I could chalk it up to dirt accumulating on me and making me itch in places I don't want to think about. After undressing, I folded my clothes so I could place them in my backpack later before turning on the shower. The water was ice cold. My teeth chattered as I cleaned myself as fast as I could, using some scentless soap by the side of the tub. Dressing myself again, I wrung out my hair as best as I could before drying it with a towel. Putting on the clothes Mychael provided, I felt like I had shrunk in size. I adjusted the sleeves and waistband to my liking without struggling, just so my hands and feet could poke out of the holes comfortably. Couldn't help but noticing his clothes smelled like freshly cut grass, with a smoky hint of a woodsy bonfire. The scent reminded me of camping in the summer. Persistent doubt aside, I definitely felt way better compared to when I woke up. Hello! Thanks for joining! Stepping out, I could smell something good coming from the kitchen. A gentle humming greeted me as I came through the doorway. Aww! That's cute! Mychael was idly stirring a pot by the stove, looking up at me as I entered the kitchen. Whatever he had in that pot made my stomach grumble yet again. His ears flicked as he registered the clothes I was wearing. How do they fit? I shrugged. They're definitely bigger on me. He nodded, turning back to the pot. I can see that. I wasn't sure what you'd normally wear, so I went with whatever I had that was... He struggled to pick a word. Coziest? I gave a hum of agreement, fiddling with the hem of his sweater. Okay, I'm sorry. I have to flirt. Alright? I have to flirt. Was I really about to do this? Yes. I guess I was. With the confidence of a courting peacock with nothing to lose, I leaned against the doorway, making sure to prop my hip in just the right angle against the edge. I think I look good in your clothes. Maybe I should wear them more often? With how baggy the clothes were on me, I probably looked closer to a sentient sack of potatoes rather than a human being. Oh, come on. Mychael must have sensed something was different with my tone, as he gave me a confused chuckle with his tail noticeably swishing side to side. I guess you could. But I'm pretty sure most of them won't fit, right? Undeterred, I continued on. I could help find something more comfortable? What is that supposed to mean? I sent the smoothest wink I could muster. Wink. Nailed it. He seems to consider my offer. I thought I found the right outfit, but you can look through the closet for something you like now that you're awake. You have something in your eye? Baby! Come on! I straightened subtly. I'm just trying something, I guess. Trying what? Never mind. What's cooking? Good looking? Against all odds, his cheeks actually begin to color. His hands turn the pot, faltering for a brief second. What? Wait, this might actually work? I bolstered my efforts, leaning forward with another smile. You heard me, he said. He hesitated to repeat it. He doesn't know, he doesn't understand unless I bash him over on the face with a compliment. That's great. That's lovely. He's cute. Well, maybe you should get your eyes checked. Yeah, this was a terrible idea. I cleared my throat awkwardly. Thank you for the clothes. You must have sensed something wrong again as he quickly tried to salvage whatever the hell was going on. For what it's worth, you look, Charisma 3, not 20. Yeah. You look very... Chain? Yeah, no. I don't know. Whatever it was he said sounded like several strange clicks of the tongue. But with vowels? Somehow? What? He huffed, tail waving side to side like a metronome. It means... He trails off. I guess in your language it would mean... Look at his face! Oh my god. Cute. My smile faltered as he fidgeted. We stared at each other. Look at him, baby! Might actually have a chance? The color on his face was closer to a blueberry the longer I looked at him. There was an awful, awkward tension before I broke it with a nervous laugh. Cute? Oh! That's the thumbnail, guys. We found a thumbnail. Oh, you baby! In fact, I could swear I heard him whimper in panic. Free whimpering audio in this economy is always appreciated. The situation was so absurd, I had to laugh harder. Yandere emotionally stunted baby. Yeah, it's not his fault he's a yandere. It's okay. I appreciate that. Was that so hard to say? He sputtered. I didn't think you'd be comfortable with me saying it. Why not? He's flustered. Yeah, he's so cute. Thank you for recommending me this game, Kyla. I love it so much. He's so cute. Well, you know. Kayla? Yeah. English. What do I know? My grin was teasing, and he picked up on that quickly, his nervousness dissipating as he gave a sharp huff. His hand stirred the pot faster. So I called you cute. It's not a big deal. Then why is your face so blue like it is? He made another choking noise, eyes starting about. It's just the heat from the stove. I'm cooking my best here. He's so cute. I snickered at his terrible excuse. You're a bad liar. But it's true. Stovetops don't do that. Mine does. Glaring contests ensued before we ended up bursting into a fit of giggles, my face warming from the silly banter. Chill, kettle. The kettle started whistling then, cutting our moment short. He seemed disappointed by the shift in the atmosphere, but quickly moved to pick it up. Why don't you take a seat, Firefly? I'll be right with you. He was already turning his back towards me to start preparing the tea. I slowly approached him. Hey, let me help this time. Mychael startled, surprised to see me beside him. Oh, sure. Could you get some bowls ready? We're having tomato soup. I love tomato soup! Oh, do you want some grilled cheese with yours, or would you prefer garlic bread? No garlic cheese bread? No garlic cheese bread? I am offended. What do I like? I like garlic bread. I've never had good grilled cheese. I guess you guys eat your tomato soup with grilled cheese? Blood soup. Chill, DHL, chill. Got it. I brushed past him, feeling his tail linger by my ankle as I grabbed the bowls and spoons from the bottom shelf. Actual tomato, yes. He started preparing the sides, the smell of toasted bread filling the kitchen and mingling with the soups. I took over preparing the tea. Finally, I ladled the soup from the pot into a larger bowl just as Mychael finished flipping the last piece. Grilled cheese and tomato soup. Looks so good! We settled in for a nice hot dinner. Regardless of how I felt about tomato soup, Mychael's turned out rich and creamy with an amazing balance of sour and sweet. Dipping in the bite-sized grilled cheese sandwiches made it taste like pure savory comfort. Crisp and gooey. I'm hungry. I want dinner. Even if I've never had it as a kid, it still made me feel nostalgic somehow. There's still a feeling of stilted awkwardness, but the food helped ease us both into a warmer, light-hearted conversation. I didn't realize how hungry I was until I refilled my bowl. Mychael watching me with his chin propped in his hand. His own bowl sat empty. Apparently he's had his fill. Good food, yeah, looks so good. Is tomato soup your favorite? Alright, chat, if you cut a sandwich, do you cut in an X or a plus? I don't cut my sandwich, so... X is superior, though, I feel like. Right? Though plus is good, too. But... if you cut it vertically or horizontally versus, like, a cross shape, I prefer a cross shape. But a plus or an X, I like both. Does that make sense? I don't know. What about you, DHL? His question was innocent, though his eyes were observing me carefully as I shrugged. I think I'd love anything you cook. He stalled, taking a second to process what I said. Oh, well, thank you. No, thank you. Usually I get takeout or microwave dinners. Nothing beats home-cooked food. What's a microwave? I snickered and tried to explain it the best I can. A metal box that heats up food? That sounds like... what's the word in those fantasy books? Magic? Cheese in a plus, salami and cheese and X. Why? I don't get it. Am I using that word right? I laughed lightly. Sometimes science is just like that. We talked about other kitchen appliances off the top of my head, slowly branching out to other human inventions. He seemed even more interested. I never understood how technology worked. I pulled out my phone and let him fiddle with it, though with the battery dead, there's not much I could show. He was clearly disappointed. I could teach you so many things, just don't kidnap me and we can be friends, bro. I'll even forgive you for this. It's fine. It's about as useful as a brick. For now. Otherwise, I'd have a whole network of information in my hands. His eyes lit up. Like a library? And you can access it at any time as long as the bat ear is alive? And as long as I have an internet connection. Right. Internet. I didn't know you could do that. I just see people staring at them all the time. It seemed boring. He looked at my phone again, a look of wonder on his face. Having a whole library in your hands. Everyone must be really smart then. Oh, yeah, well, Well, not everyone uses it like a library. More like a messaging hub? Or a source of content consumption? His ears flicked as he stared at me with a black smile. Consumption? You can eat it? Yeah, he has no clue what I'm talking about. How do I explain to him the very concept of Web 2.0? I cleared my throat, deciding that I simply won't. Me. Maybe I can show you what I mean someday. His eyes brightened, seeming to like that idea a lot. You mean that? Yeah, so let me go! I can have some? Yeah. I think it's about time you start getting a little more modern around here, no offense. Imagine what you could do with a generator. His smile widened just a tad, though there's still a cluelessness to his face that was just a little endearing. Generator? I see. My accent, then. I laughed and reached across to pat his hand, a gesture that made his smile wobble. Like I said, I'll show you someday. A loud thwack sounded against the floorboards, followed by rhythmic thudding. Oh, leaning over, I could see the tip of his tail was wagging back and forth, the tip of it slapping against the floor almost comically. Mychael looked flustered as he laughed softly, pulling his hand back to rub his neck. Sorry? He looked like he had more to say but exhaled heavily, gathering himself before tilting his chin towards my empty bowl. You done? I nodded as he stood and collected our dirty dishes, heading towards the sink to wash them, followed close behind carrying the mugs. We made quick work of the dishes, heading back to the living room to relax. He's uncontrollably happy. He's just a little puppy. I love him. So cute. Mychael headed to his basket of knitting materials, his movements routine. I wasn't sure what to do myself. I looked over at Mychael as he pulled out the stool from the corner of the room towards the front of the fireplace. His ear flicked in my direction before he returned my glance. Do you knit? I tried, but I couldn't do it at all. Like, I couldn't even get past the first stitch. Slap him? Why would I? You're so mean. He's a baby. Yeah, not again. We already, like, sucker punched him in the face. Not at all. He gave a soft chuckle. Maybe you like it if you tried? I would if I could. Can I see what you're working on? He looked surprised, not expecting my interest. Sure, it's just something to work on in my downtime. Halfway through, I started to realize that maybe it's not really my color. He lifted it up for me to see, only for my foot to kick the basket and sending a ball of yarn rolling towards the bed. Ah, sorry. Uh-oh. I quickly followed after it, only to halt as I spotted something under the bed. It was glinting off the bright firelight within the room. Approaching the bed and tilting my head lower, I could see it was a tin container the size of a shoebox. What's that? Mychael looked up. Under your bed. Is it something important? A hesitant look came across his face. Oh, just some emergency supplies? Uh-huh. Nothing too special. I had an inkling it was something more, but I figured I'd let him keep his privacy without prying anymore. I see. Mychael watched me for a moment or two before clearing his throat. Hey, Firefly? Please don't be the cat's collar. We already found the cat's collar, like, somewhere on the clearing. So, yeah. Hey, Firefly? I've been meaning to ask. Do you remember what you said at the river? I'm gonna grab a charger. The river? Because my battery is, like, dying. Okay, that. The river? Oh, where I tripped. I pursed my lips and thought. Not really. Everything feels fuzzy to me. He seemed disappointed. Oh, not even a little? I shook my head. Why? Did I say something stupid? Just some things. It made me happy. Oh god, I think I did say something stupid. Before I could ask about it, he had already gestured towards the bed. Well, you should get some sleep, Firefly. Wanna wake up at nice and early to find Kneecap, right? The idea of licking my cat once more made me wilt. You really think we'd find him? Mychael looked on edge, pocketing his hands. Doesn't hurt to try. But it does hurt to hope. His face twitched. Well, His ears flattened as he thought of something to say, clearly struggling. Finally opened his mouth to respond, his words slow and careful. I'm here for you. Thank you, Mychael. He nodded, a strange mixture of polite happiness and hidden anxiety playing across his face. He's probably not used to another person sticking around this long, let alone someone going through a loss he could care less about. Maybe I've been enough of a burden to him. Actually, can you just send me home? His brows raised, his posture straightening in surprise. Are you sure? But what about Kneecap? Don't you want to see if we can find him? I'm sure. A look of apprehension crossed his face. But it's so soon. Kneecap could be out there. Mychael, please. I can't think about him right now. I just want to go home. He fidgeted with the sleeves of his cardigan. But It looked like he had so much more to say, but whatever turmoil going on in his head was quickly swept behind a reassuring smile. Okay, get some sleep, Firefly. We've been through a lot. He went to collect his blankets again, already arranging them into a nest like the night before. The words left my mouth before I could think twice. Wanna use the bed tonight? He stopped in his tracks. Oh, no, I don't mind the floor. I meant we'd be sharing the bed. Ooh! Hearing it out loud just made me want to slap myself across the face. Mychael blinked at me before laughing lightly. My bed's too small for two people, don't you think? I don't think it'd be comfortable for either of us. He eyed the bed frame before looking back at me. I'll be alright. With that, he crouched on the floor and started setting up his bed, his tail swaying languidly. Laid down and faced the wall, the sharp sting of embarrassment in my chest refusing to go away. Age rating increase wall. Why did I ask that? That was so stupid. Maybe I needed a sense of comfort. Or maybe I just needed him? Whichever it was, at least he took it at face value. I wasn't sure what I'd even do if he said yes. I groaned internally and shut my eyes, willing myself to go to sleep. He's gonna be there looking at me anyway. The last thing I heard was the gentle crackling of the fireplace, accompanied by Mychael's knitting needles clicking away in the dark. Snore loudly? I do snore really loudly, so. Before I knew it, I could hear birds chirping outside the window. The first thing I noticed was the fire must have been out, considering I couldn't hear the familiar pop and snap that came with the room's ambiance. Second thing I realized was the hand gently shaking my shoulder awake. So he can't sleep? Well, last time we slept over, he was up all night staring at us. So I don't think he would sleep regardless. So. Wake up, sleepyhead. I stirred, yawning as I sat up in bed. Mychael beamed, hand still on my shoulder. There you are. Had a good sleep? I mumbled incoherently. His smile widened into a grin as I blinked myself out of my woozy state. If I didn't know any better, he seemed to enjoy waking me up in the morning just to see my disgruntled expressions. Breakfast is ready. Wash up and meet me in the kitchen, all right? Give me a second. He took that as my assent, humming his response. Suddenly, his hand reached up to ruffle my hair, messing up my bedhead further. Hey! He merely laughed at my indignant squawk before reminding me once more to get up, his steps already thudding towards the kitchen. Recovering after a moment, I stared at the wall and pondered my situation for a second as I made my way to the bathroom. This was the third day since I've left the house. Missing work, missing my cat, and missing my sense of direction. Gotta get back to my life. Today. Quietly reminding myself of my goal, I padded to the bathroom, freshened up, and joined him in the kitchen. Mychael was already seated, cutting into some pancakes. What are the pancakes? His smile was bright as I entered the kitchen, his tail flicking closer to my seat as I sat down. Yummy! Similar stack of mouth-watering pancakes was placed across him, waiting for me to dig in. Though I couldn't bring myself to muster up an appetite with so many thoughts filling up my head. He seemed to notice the look on my face, laughing nervously. You look so serious. Something on your mind, Firefly? Picked up my fork, twiddling with it. I'm just worried about going home. Mychael faltered as he lifted a piece to his mouth. Oh, you're still thinking about that? He seemed annoyed, which was a first. Of course. I've been gone for 3 days. People probably think I've gone missing. His gaze lowered, almost grumbling. Is that so bad? What? Yeah, it's bad. Why do you sound like you don't even care? Mychael frowned, looking up at me now. Why do you sound like you're desperate to leave? We can literally have playdates at my house. I will not stop talking about this. My guy, we could hang out in the town. What? It's all you ever think about. Your toilet doesn't have running water. Of course I want to go home. I have a bidet at home. Are you not happy here? Is it not enough? I sighed, rubbing my fingers over my eyes. Mychael, we've gone over this. I've said it once and I'll say it again. You've done so much for me already, but I can't keep pretending everything's okay here. I want to go home. I need to go home. He sucked in a deep breath, grunting something indecipherable under his breath. I only wanted to. Yes, it's not enough. Like, we can totally just hang out at home. I don't understand him. He seemed to be battling himself before he finally sighed. I'm sorry. You're right. Of course you're right. His tone seemed genuine, even if the hurt in his eyes was clear as day. I'll send you back today. I narrowed my eyes. I mean it this time, I promise. He held his hand over his chest. I swear on my heart. One last fucking chance, Mychael. I'll trust you. I mean, how could I not trust him? He was my last hope. Okay. He paused for a moment before adding quickly. Thank you. Oh, he's pouting. Look at the baby. He nodded and went back to eating, watching me expectantly as he took a timid bite. It was a moment before he swallowed and spoke again. Can you promise me something? His voice was quiet and, for a lack of a better word, vulnerable. What is it? Promise me? His mouth hung open for a second or two before he laughed. Promise you weren't lying when you said you liked my cooking? I snorted. Are you kidding? Do I look like the kind of person to lie? I'm offended, Mychael. I laughed again, light and airy. But if I dared to look closer, I could tell it was fake. He probably didn't want to make our last moments tense and awkward. The least I could do was meet him halfway. Before long, we found ourselves walking down another path from Mychael's. The route was different today, probably because he didn't have any detours in mind. We walked in silence for a while. The only thing accompanying us were the sounds of nature and our footsteps. Couldn't tell what Mychael was thinking. Knew he wasn't the talkative type unless spoken to, but right now he seemed eerily quiet. His back was tense, eyes looking nowhere but forward. My voice was itching to say something, anything. But it felt like the both of us had some thoughts to digest, despite it being easier to just say it out loud. Still, the silence was getting unbearable. So, we both halted in our footsteps at the sound of rustling, Mychael's ear perking in a direction. What was that? I swear if turns out he kills our cat, I'm gonna scream. His hands were already raising to hold his crossbow, deftly cocking it with an experienced pull of the string until a solid click was heard. Stay quiet. Stay close. I swallowed, my heart picking up speed. He started stalking low towards the source of the noise, his boots barely making a sound compared to my clumsy footsteps. The rustling continued, sounding like a scuffle was occurring between the bushes. Closer, closer, until my ears picked up an unfamiliar high-pitched sound. It sounded like a tiny infant screaming. As morbid as that was, Mychael actually relaxed as he recognized it. His steps hastened silently towards the source, crossbow lowering until we came across what exactly it was that caused the disturbance. Oh, poor baby! Rabbit, no! A small, delicate foot snagged in an old, rusted trap. Its little body trembled as it breathed fast and shallow, no doubt scared out of its mind. Mychael regarded it empathically before unloading his crossbow, disturbed by the caught rabbit but at the same time relieved at the absence of a threat. Just a rabbit. Sweeping his crossbow behind his back and out of sight, he looked at it for another moment before looking up towards me. Let's keep going then. My mouth dropped in shock. And leave that poor thing behind? He raised a brow, confused at my bewilderment. Yes, but it's going to die. His face twisted in confusion. That's generally what happens to prey animals, yes. He was so nonchalant about it, I had to keep my emotions in check. Can't do that. Look at it. His expression was understanding, if a little annoyed. Yeah, someone left a trap. A rabbit gets caught in it. That's how it works. What do you want me to do? Set it free? Obviously? He was frowning now. I can't. If someone is nearby, they'll be suspicious how their catch got free. Does that matter? Animals escape traps all the time. The poor thing is suffering. Betty, I know you're smarter than this. If it doesn't die today, it'll die tomorrow. To a trap, a fox, a hunter. Probably won't even survive long with its injured foot if we set it free. You're prolonging the inevitable. Can't you put it out of its misery then? He hesitated. You really want me to do that? Don't free it? Yeah, I wouldn't. But yeah, like, put it out of the misery, no. But even then, we don't even know if anyone's coming back for it. The thing looks so old. He sighed impatiently, looking stubborn in his decision. That's the point of a trap. It's to keep things right where they are until you come back. The way he said it just rubbed me the wrong way. I don't think he's being sadistic. Like, he's being realistic. In a way, his logic made sense, but still. Could hardly believe how needlessly callous he was being. For someone so sweet with his hands, he was so indifferent about the poor rabbit shaking at our feet. I looked down at it once more, my heart breaking as it started to squeak. Mychael. Oh my god, no, girl. Like, if she wants him to, like, kill the rabbit and put it out of his misery, then yeah, I agree. But freeing it would be dumb. Okay. Follow me. Yeah, like, I don't know. Who was I to say what was right and wrong? Maybe he had a point. It was just one small rabbit in the grand scheme of things. We should just let it be. Yeah, right? She needs to chill. Mychael led us back to where we came, the struggling, squeaking noises of the rabbit eventually drowned out by the sounds of the forest around us. Again, like, if he kills the rabbit, I'll be fine with that, because, I wish he would, so, to stop the suffering. But freeing it with an injured foot, it's gonna die, and it's gonna die, like, what? Left alone to its fate. Guilt spread through my chest like an icky mole, but I quickly stifled it. Also, she ate meat! So, like, why is she complaining? He probably catches prey the same way. Imagine if this is a roundabout way to change his way of thinking and you set yourself on the bad route. I was thinking of that. Like, maybe not us, but the cat. Maybe. But who knows? I don't know. It's just nature. Let it be. Let it be. Mychael took the lead, his footing sure and confident. Must have noticed my unsteady gait behind him as he subtly veered towards a clearer path I could easily follow. I didn't verbalize it, but I was definitely grateful for that. As much as the forest was growing on me, getting my feet caught in roots and twigs every few steps gets tiring after a while. Our steps fall into a rhythm next to each other. I peek at Mychael every once in a while, trying to gauge his mood after what happened. Even after spending so much time with him, he was so difficult to read. How can someone both wear their heart on their sleeve yet keep it stitched tight, never letting anyone come too close? I knew he had secrets he wanted to keep close to his chest, But I wish he would just open up to me a little. The silence that hung in the air was making my skin prickle. What's your favorite animal? I was so caught up in my thoughts, I didn't even realize I blurted out the first thing that came into mind. Mychael regarded me curiously, ear flicking. My favorite animal? He pursed his lips in thought before his ears perked. Jellyfish. I did a double take. It was one thing for him to have an answer so readily, but the choice was something else. Jelly? Why jellyfish? I thought it'd be, I don't know, a bird or something. He shrugged. They're pretty to look at least from pictures I've seen. Plus, I kinda relate to them. He said that without zero hesitation. How exactly do you relate to jellyfish? His expression faltered, as if deciding on the right way he should explain his answer. Let's just say I have something in common. Regenerative abilities? Not dying? Because he said all he has is time. I can totally see that. With a jellyfish. Well, one jellyfish. In what way? That they're pretty to look at? A strangled noise slipped past his throat. Look at him. Poor baby. No? You wouldn't get it. Try me. Solitude? No. I groaned like a dying whale in exasperation. Shoulders slumped like I had a back problem. He's not gonna elaborate anymore, is he? Probably spotted the vein growing on my forehead as he snickered. Relax, Firefly. You're gonna faint on the spot if you think any harder. Without zero hesitation, so with hesitation. English is hard. Okay, that's fair actually. Yeah, they said it wrong. You're right. Yeah, well, it'll be your fault. His smile dropped for a second before his cheeky grin returned. Touch? Touche. Touch? Touch what? Touch. I stared at him, his happy grin shifting into a confused frown. Touch, when it's like saying you're right. You mean touche? He smiled innocently. Yeah. This man will be the death of me. He laughed at my screwed up grimace, waving a hand hastily. What about you? What's your favorite animal? I am not answering his chickens just in case he tells us to come back. Cats. He snorted, a fond smile in his lips. You know what? I don't even know why I bothered asking. Of course it's cats. What's that supposed to mean? He gave me a look. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know what you mean. He pretty much giggled in my response. We continued with the idle chatter after that. I didn't even know how much time had passed as the trees slowly thinned out, the sounds of nature muffling as the canopy started to grow scarce. Suddenly I heard the soft yet familiar rumble of a car in the distance. Almost didn't pick up on it, fully immersed in whatever Mychael was rambling about. Something about the life cycle of a topsy-turvy dorney, or whatever it was he called it. Oh, had we really walked that far already? Left Mychael's side and rushed forward. He made a sound surprised but followed suit. Neared the edge of the forest just as another car drove past. I recognized my street instantly. Breaking into a light jog, I almost missed Mychael's calling for my name as I ran down the road. And then we get hit by a car. Bam! Done. Game over. There! My house was visible from where I stood by the street. I was breathing heavily by the time Mychael approached my side, the man barely making a sound as I took in the sight. I would invite him over. Oh, I missed this. Huh? I turned to thank Mychael, only to startle when a bundled stranger took his place. Oh, this guy is so cute! Ah, sorry, people about. I couldn't see anyone around, but I guess he was right to be safe. I guess this was his version of a disguise. If I were to pass him on the street, I don't think I would have bothered to look twice. I mean, I'd want to say thank you to your face, but I'll settle for this, I guess. His chuckle was muffled under the scarf. He pulled it down so he could speak properly. Did I scare you? I got distracted. Mychael's eyes squinted from where I could see them. And I wonder how you don't get lost every 20 steps. Hey. He laughed at my offended tone. Better not go back in there, got it? No, we want to play. I'm not always gonna be around to find you. Invite him over, girl. I swear, I'm gonna scream if you don't. Who says I need you around to find me? Almost instantly, his eyes hardened under his sunglasses. I'm serious. Don't go wandering in these woods again. Or I might have to start taking drastic measures just to make sure you stay put right where you are. I sputtered indignantly. I wonder where I please. Sure. I looked over my shoulder towards my house. So that's where you live, huh? Invite him, oh my god, we could be friends. Looks cozy. I wasn't sure if he was being genuine, considering he lived in the wooden back ends of the middle of nowhere. Suddenly I perked up with a thought. You wanna come by? Yeah! His eyes darted towards me, shock evident on his face. We could still be friends. See? You don't have to cage me. We could be friends. Me? To your home? I nodded. He froze completely. For a second I thought he stopped breathing. I'd love to. Oh, baby! Oh! Sudden barking and a shout startled us both, my body jerking forward as his arm yanked me close. It's just a doggy, it's fine. I heard a soft rustle as his sunglasses fell to the grass from the sudden motion, his hastily worn beanie shaken off his head. Looking up, it was just my neighbor calling out to their dog. Oh, looks like Vida's back from college. I paused, feeling his grip tighten. Looked down at his hand on my shoulder before glancing up at him. Mychael? He snapped back to the present, his hands releasing me quickly. Sorry. Looked towards my neighbor and their dog for another moment before turning back to me. Oh, I don't think it's a good idea for me to go with you. It's fine, it's just a dog. I don't want to be seen. It's my house. Who's gonna come inside my house? I deflated just a little. But you have your disguise, don't you? He shook his head insistently. I can't risk it. It's better this way. No! No, I don't like this! You went into town, so what do you mean you cannot risk it? He spoke with a finality that was starting to become familiar. If he wasn't willing, fine. At least I was. Before he could pick up his accessories, I gently grabbed his wrist. Then can I come visit you instead? What? I huffed impatiently. If you won't come to mine, then I'll go to yours. Once again he was rendered speechless. See? We could be friends without it being weird. Why would you ever want to see me again? At this point I was starting to look and sound peeved. For all his good traits, the constant need to build his walls higher around me was starting to get annoying. Folded my arms, looking stern. His eyes widened as if in preparation, ears flattening like a cat in the middle of a scolding. Mychael? Can't you just accept the fact that maybe I enjoy your company and wouldn't mind more? I'm sorry, nobody's ever... That you wanted to go home so badly? Oh, this man is hopeless. I like my boy failures, it's okay. Yes, of course I do. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna forget about you completely. Besides, I promised I'd show you what phones could do, didn't I? Dismissing the fact that there's probably not much I can show when there's no data in the woods. I'm sure he'd be enthralled by whatever dinky mobile game I had installed at the time. The point was just, I wanted to see him again. So that means, I get to see you again? I picked up on the eager tone in his voice, realizing he wished for the same sentiment. Yeah, I want to. His voice warbled for a second. Firefly? He cleared his throat, laughing to himself. Bere. You can't imagine how much that means to me. Yay! No yandere! A lot. It means a lot. More than you know. I nodded, a giddy smile creeping onto my own face. How's next weekend? He tilted his head. That's 7 sundowns from now on? 5. His smile widened, eyes squinting in absolute delight. Okay. I'll meet you here then. I smiled at him, figuring this was goodbye. Yeah! I like this. No yandere required. Hug him! I don't think twice. Arms spread and wrapped around him before he could react. Mychael froze from head to toe, inhaling sharply as his shoulders tensed. For a second, I thought I triggered a fight or flight or freeze response. It took a few seconds before he shifted to reciprocate, lightly placing his hands on the small of my back in a loose hold. Fingertips played awkwardly along my spine. He's purring! Just come over to my house, goddammit. He seemed to gain confidence as he wrapped his arms around me properly, a shaky sigh leaving his body as he relaxed. A faint rhythmic rumble emitted from his chest, my eyes widening at the strange feeling. Was he purring? Is he a good boy? I knew I had heard that sound before, but he was definitely purring. I didn't have the time to dwell on it for long. His grip was getting tighter. Tighter? Okay, I was about to sputter a gentle protest when another car passing by made him jump and release me. Had to step away to catch my breath after the squeeze. His arms dropped to his sides with a blank stare in my direction. Oh. Out of the corner of my eye, I could see his hands clenching tightly as if holding himself back. See, this is why you should just come over to my place. We could cuddle in bed. I looked up at him, expecting him to say something first. Instead, he just stared at me like I grew a third eye. I quickly cleared my throat, cheeks starting to burn. Anyways. It's so awkward. I gave him one last light punch to the shoulder. It felt like punching a sack of grains. I was across the street. My neighbor in their yard looked up as I approached, their eyes lighting up in recognition. Vere? Oh, cute! Their hands fidgeted with the frisbee in their hand as they approached, their ever-loyal Laika flowing close behind. I was wondering where you've been. I dropped by to give you some cakes over the weekend, but you weren't home, and you didn't answer your phone. And your packages were piling up at the door, and how many packages did I buy? I held my hands up in a placating gesture. Vida, I'm fine. At our feet, Laika was dutifully pawing at their elbow to calm them down. Oh, what a good doggy. Their mouths stopped midway through another sentence, blinking rapidly. Sorry. They reached out to pat Laika's head, significantly calmer as they asked again. Where were you? Where have you been? You thought it crashed? Did it crash? I didn't... Satrai. I was, visiting a friend. Visiting a friend? For a digital detox? Off the grid and all that? They blinked slowly, nodding. Oh, that sounds exciting. By the tone of their voice, they didn't mean it at all. What about Kneecap? Did you manage to find him? My mood instantly dropped. No. That's why I went away in the first place, you could say. It took a few seconds for Vida to understand what I meant. Oh, I'm sorry. It's fine. They straightened, a flash of empathy on their face before they smiled. It paused for a couple of seconds. But it's chill now? Do you miss anything? Well, Laika and I are around for the semester break if you need anything. We should do a movie night. Maybe that'll lift your spirits. A fond smile quirked at my lips. Thank you, Vida. I'll bring the orange soda. Their expression lit up happily. Take care. I bid them both goodbye to walk up my driveway. Once I got to my door, I had an urge to turn around one last time. Aww! I was surprised to see Mychael still standing by the forest edge, shadowed by the trees. Our eyes made contact, the zone of fierce, piercing yellow shining against the shade. It's fine, it might have been on my end. No, I got a notification that the stream connection was shit or something. It was me. I am the problem. I gave him a big wave. It took a moment, but he waved back. Smiling to myself, I unlocked the front door and let myself inside. It was surreal standing in my doorway again. I felt like Alice who just woke up at the end of the book, feeling like I had dreamed of Wonderland. I tossed my keys in my backpack by the hall carelessly before plugging my phone into the charger. I dreaded playing catch up with the people who might have tried to reach me during my absence. Work, family, friends. I groaned aloud, flopping onto the living room couch. Oh well, at least I had this weekend to look forward to. A date! That's all from day 3 of Mushroom Oasis demo. More updates coming in the future! Tell me what you think of the game. Any support or feedback is highly appreciated. Thank you for Where should I start first? Should I start with getting the first endings or seeing what the later options entail? I think I'm just gonna try from the back. Gonna thank him. You're welcome, Firefly. His voice was filled with this warm self-reverence. I didn't think much of it before, but now I was really curious. Why do you call me that? Huh? Firefly. You've been calling me that since we met. Why? Oh, um, he fidgeted with the strap of his satchel as if embarrassed. I guess he just reminded me of one. I bring light to your light? Is that it? I snorted, folding my arms in mock offense. You're comparing me to a fly now? Beetle, actually. Still a bug. He sighed, rolling his eyes. I'm not done. Right, sorry. Go on. He rubbed the tips of his fingers on the strap again, slowly speaking. When I first found you, I thought our time together would be short. Something that might fade as quickly as it appeared. And if I wasn't careful, you could slip away so easily. Fireflies are so delicate after all. But then, you stayed. You forced me to! Not just stayed, you lit up everything around me. Something I didn't even realize I needed. Your light was warm, soft, mesmerizing, safe. I wish I could keep you in my hands forever. But you wouldn't like that. Yeah, good job! Yeah, you're thinking of me instead of yourself. Good boy! Would you? He stared at me with such intensity. I really did start to feel like a bug under a microscope. My face grew warm, a shudder running up my spine. Wow, cool story. Anyways, you should tell him you don't like it. Like, properly set your boundaries. God damn. Okay. Now here. Your chickens. You looked taken aback, clearly not expecting that answer. Really? Yeah. Who wouldn't fall in love with little darlings? He seemed pleased with that answer, his already white smile softening further. You're right. Who wouldn't fall in love with a little darling? We continue with idle chatter after that. Okay, nothing's different, right? Yeah, okay. And then... Okay, fine, I'll just start from the beginning, so that way we know. There's 4 bad endings, so let's try and get them all right now. My name is Vere. Aduh. My cat's name is Kneecap. Your cat is male. Skip. I'm going to save. Here. This time I'm gonna stay awake. I fluttered my eyelids, straining to look at the person approaching. My eyes widened as I took their appearance. Oh, okay. Say no. I ignored the pleading voice in the back of my head, stealing my resolve. Strangely enough, the second I made up my mind, the faint static that fogged my thoughts cleared instantly, only replaced with the urgent need to go back home. Mychael goes quiet, his grip on my hand tightening before he loosens his hold. I see. If that's what you want. But are you really sure? Yes, it's what I'm meant to do. His ears flatten at my words. He laughs an empty laugh, mouth twisting into a crooked grimace. Surely you wouldn't mind sitting down for a quick meal. Just a bite even. Please. His hands fisted at his sides. Do you really have to go? Okay. Yes. Mychael stared at me as if looking for something. Finally he sighed in defeat. All right. I guess I can't keep you here. Not anymore. Let me lead you outside. Mychael ushered me towards the back door, swinging it open as he sidestepped to let me out. The chill breeze crept along my arms. I turned towards him one last time. Thanks again for everything. He was silent for a moment, staring past me into the trees. You're welcome. Be careful on your way back. I'm sorry there's not much more I could do for you. He's been nothing but gracious. It's strange for a farewell, but I was too occupied with thoughts of returning home to care. I looked over into the woods, the shadows cast from the moonlight causing some hesitation in me. Do you mind giving me some directions as a head start? Mychael looked at me finally, then to the horizon with a tilt of his chin. Keep heading in that direction. You'll come across a trail that'll lead you straight home. I waved at him as he shut the door, the mechanism locking shut with a click. I stood there for a moment, questioning if I had made the right decision or not. Another urgent thought compelled me to leave. This is no place for me. I have to go. It was already too late to go back, so I gathered my resolve and walked away. I walked and walked. Trees blended into one another after a while. It should have been afraid or a concern, but it felt right. The darkness that surrounded me was too comforting for me to feel in danger. I steered away from the direction Mychael showed me ages ago, my feet willingly carrying my body to someplace specific, someplace special, a final destination. Here, the patch of mushrooms I had stepped in earlier. I was meant to be here. I've always meant to be here. I laid down in the cold, wet dirt and closed my eyes. There's not much I could do if the forest had staked its claim on you, Firefly. I wish I had found you sooner. Sleep well, Vere. Ending one peaceful slumber. Oh shit, that's our cat! Wait, that's the shape of our cat! Our cat has died! I thought he ate our cat, but turns out our cat just straight up died. In the fairy ring. Yo! Okay. Dinner sounds really good. I don't eat meat. Good thing I asked. Thanks for letting me know. Let me pick some veggies from the garden and I'll make you something. Left out the back door with a basket, coming back inside surprisingly quick with a smile on his face. I expected him to toss something into a bowl and have it done just like that, but apparently he had other plans. I watched as he washed the veggies thoroughly before chopping them up with an extra sharp knife, setting them aside and pulling out a container from one of the cabinets. He set a pan on the stove and oiled it up, tossing in half of the ingredients and seasoning them with some herbs and spices while a pot boils next to it. The small kitchen quickly filled up with the smell of his cooking. My mouth was already watering in response. I twiddled with a fork on the table, trying to ignore the gnawing feeling in my gut. Luckily, I didn't have to wait long. Before I knew it, Mychael already finished, humming as he strode over to the table and set my food down in front of me. That looks good. I looked down at my dinner and almost gasped. It looks so good! The rice was fluffy as it peeked out underneath the colorful pile of veggies. I didn't know a simple dish could look so tantalizing. The serving size was a bit heartier than expected. He must have known I was starving. Mychael brought over his own serving of cottage pies as he settled into his seat. Sorry to make you wait. I tried to keep it simple but filling. You didn't have to tell me twice. I jabbed my fork into the dish, scooping up rice with a spoon in my other hand and shoving it down into my mouth. Hot! Mychael kept a polite expression, the corner of his mouth lifting as I panted with the food still in my mouth. He gave me a few seconds to recover, elbow planted on the table. Is it good? I nodded vigorously, even though my buds were burning. Couldn't taste anything. He laughed. It's usually better on the second bite. I slowed down, hand on my mouth, as Mychael poked his fork into his pie. Tentatively blew on the plate to make sure it was cool before taking another bite. Right? The second bite was a lot better. The rice was soft and flavorful, mixing in nicely with the crunch of the vegetables with every chew. Never had greens this fresh, and with how gently he cooked them, every single element was finished to perfection. Okay, I am going to freak out. Oh, baby, I'm sorry, honey. Monster. Oh, poor baby. I flinched as his eyes thinned into sharp slits. No, please don't be scared. You're a monster. Ta-da. I kicked back against the chair, letting it clatter to the ground as I scrambled to the living room. I'm so sorry, honey. He was a freak. That's so mean. What the fuck is wrong with you? How did I ever let him get close to me? Oh, this hurts. I feel so bad. I had to escape. Now. I ran to the door furthest into the room, hoping it was the exit, rattling the doorknob desperately. It was locked shut. Bear, please. I abandoned the front door and ran to the window by the bed, my fingernails scraping against the sill. It was sealed tight, the lock barely budging as I tried to twist it with my fingers. Heavy boots slowly came closer behind me. Spun around to see him by the edge of the doorway, hands up in a careful stance. Eric, calm down. I'm begging you, just let me explain. Baby, stay away from me. My eyes landed on the basket on the bedside table. The needle. No, you wouldn't! No! The needles glinting against the firelight. Oh my god. Oh my god. Take them? I grasped both needles and pulled them from the yard, the basket dropping to the floor in my haste. Holding them to my chest, I stepped back as Mychael came closer, eyes wild as he realized what I held. Hey, 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 look at me, Vere. You don't want to do this. You're gonna hurt yourself. Let go of those things. Sorry, Mychael. Aiming blindly, I didn't notice. Those are some sharp needles, and also, what the fuck? He literally helped you, and you do this to him. Poor Mychael! No, that is so mean! Oh, my eyes are tearing. Okay, now I have to draw him, because I feel so terrible. Aiming blindly, I lunged forward. I probably wasn't expecting it, because he hardly moved as I stabbed him straight through his chest. Baby, no, I'm so sorry! No, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. A choked sound made past his lips before he collapsed, his disgusting pair of eyes dazedly searching the room for me. Bere? I... I can't see you. I backed away, my breath lodged in my throat. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Oh no. That's okay. I know you can hear me. This hurts so much. He wheezed out a pained laugh. Ah, stop it! My eyes are tearing off! No, I feel so bad! I didn't think we'd kill him! You know, I was so alone. Aww. And you came along. I was so happy. Just to talk to someone, to have dinner with someone. You even liked my cooking. Ah. Aw. I really thought you would be different. Did you really hate the way I looked that much? Oh no, baby, you look so cute. No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. He laughed bitterly once more, spitting out some blood. Why do I keep lying to myself? This has always been my fate since the beginning. At least I got one wish. I'm not dying alone. Vere, are you there? Please. Oh, I'm getting cold. No, stop. I feel so bad. I feel so bad. Why did I try to 100% this game? Oh, I feel so bad. getting cold. Come here there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I feel so bad. I didn't realize I had tears streaming down my face. He sounded so pathetic. I stared down at my hands. The hands that hurt Mychael. Had I made a mistake? A sputtered cough snapped my attention back to him. I think this is goodbye, Bede. It was nice to meet. Oh, you would say it was nice to meet me even though I stabbed you? I feel so bad. He cast one last. Oh, Of course they drew the eyes. Got like the light leaving the eyes. CJ. Of course they did. Good job for making me cry. I love this game. Cast one last breath. The sound rattling across the empty cabin as his eyes glossed over completely. I sunk to my knees, hands still shaking. What have I done? Ending to you, Yeah, okay, I am a monster. Yeah. I'm sorry. You monster. Oh, I feel so bad. What if I take him but listen to him? He was right. If you weren't careful, you could hurt yourself. Your hold on the needle slipped, your ears picking up the sound of them clattering to the floor. It's 3 a.m.? You missed me crying, literally just now. Why are you awake? You should sleep. Defenseless, I faced Mychael as he stepped closer. I couldn't stop staring at those eyes. They looked wide with panic. Okay, listen to me. Everything's gonna be alright. Oh no, stay away from me, you freak. Why? Do you hate me that much? No, I don't. Can we just start over? I shook my head, backing away from him. Just let me leave. I don't want to be anywhere near you. Mychael stopped advancing, hands fisting at his sides. Okay, that's okay. I'll let you go. Just... I screamed as his arms wrapped around me. All I could do was twist in his hold. I could feel something tightening around my legs, his grip on my chin forcing me to look at his face. Let go of me. Oh, damn. That looks cool. Static. All I could hear was static. Sorry guys, my nose is now ready. My body went against my will as I slackened against him, limp as a ragdoll as his eyes bored straight into mine. Mychael's smile was manic. That's it, Firefly. I've caught you now. You'll be fine. Everything will be fine. Of course everything's fine. What did you have to worry about anyways? It was just your dear, sweet friend, Mychael. Trustworthy Mychael. Safe and sound Mychael. It was all that you needed. That's right. Settle in, Firefly. I'll take good care of you. I promise. Oh, baby, I'm sorry. You get to have the real you. But I'll willingly play pretend if it means I get to keep you. Your name is Vere. You live in the woods with your best friend Mychael. You love Mychael, and he loves you. You've never had a job. You've never had a cat. You've never left these woods. You've never had a home anywhere else. You are already home. Hey, Firefly? Wanna help with dinner today? Haha, of course you do. Come on. Ending 3. Play pretend. Oh, that hurts. I'm still hurting. Sorry, I shouldn't have done ending 2, because now all I can do is like sniffle and cry. Fuck my life. Imagine crying on stream. Can't be me. Defenseless, I faced Mychael as he stepped closer. I couldn't stop staring at those eyes. Oh, it's the same. Okay. So, let's remain calm and then see if there's anything else. I am not okay, you guys. Cool. It's like something out of science fiction. Is that a good thing? Yeah. Oh, my point is. Okay. Let me load. How to load? Hot. Hot? You're not referring to temperature, are you? No, I am not. Oh. He looked confused but seemed embarrassed anyway. I am going to draw him in my server later. Maybe? In any case, I'll be making an emote of him for my server to make up for the horrible things I do. Have something else? Oh, I could make some fresh salad if that's what you'd prefer. I love that. Thank you. Of course. I just want to see all the food. Ooh! Just as promised, Mychael had prepared a delightful bowl of salad. I love how there's like vegan options. Fresh lettuce, cherry tomatoes, minced carrots, and onions. I could see bits of homemade croutons added into the mix too. A drizzle of dressing weaved through the colorful ensemble, enticing me to take a bite. It was quick and simple, but I could tell he put a lot of effort into it. Couldn't wait to dig in. Mychael set down a steaming mug beside me before settling into his own seat. One forkful of the salad had me sighing in delight, the taste and textures mingling on my tongue. I could tell these were fresh, and nothing beats fresh ingredients straight out of the garden. I think this should be the same as before. Just want to see all the options. People, okay, I don't think. Actually, I guess they are just people you live in close proximity to, whether by choice or not. Mychael's ears flattened instantly, followed by a look of discomfort on his face. I see. All the more reason I don't need family then. I don't understand how you humans can be around each other so much. If he doesn't like it, then why does he want to keep us? Interesting. If it was me in that situation, I don't even want to think about it. I was taken aback by that. Do you hate being around humans? He straightened in his seat. No, that's not what I meant. How do I explain this? He waved at the air while his tail flicked aggressively. I can be around humans because we're so different. Your presence near me doesn't affect me at all. But say you're like me. He gestured wildly at himself. As in, like me. I might get a bit dangerous. Couldn't ever imagine associating Mychael with the word dangerous, but he seemed dead serious. What are you saying? Like, if I had horns and a tail like you? He laughed under his breath, but it sounded forced. Exactly that, actually. Are you saying there's more like you out there? It didn't seem like he wanted to talk about it anymore, so I cleared my throat and changed the topic. To be fair, everyone's definition is different, blah blah blah. Oh, so he does also still say he has a family. Okay. Sorry. Wait just a bit. Okay, let's load again. People are you're related to, like your mom and your dad and your siblings and relatives. He nodded at my explanation. I couldn't help thinking that he looked somewhat relieved. If that's the case, I definitely don't have family around. And as far as relations go, I'm the only one of me there is and ever will be. He sounded determined about that fact. So you're not... I assume you're not a family person then? He looked amused at my question. Definitely not. I found that surprising. He seemed like the type, but I guess I couldn't just assume that. Although, he twiddled with his mug, His brows furrowed as he stared at it. It does sound nice, knowing that you have that undeniable bond with someone. Something to link you with others, just underneath the surface. That kind of relationship that makes it unique and precious, wouldn't it? He looked at me then, his eyes almost full of longing. But some things just aren't meant for me. What do you mean? He smiled, shrugging. Nothing you have to worry about, Firefly. What a strange man. Oh, I still want to cry. I am not okay. I love butterflies. I don't. I do. I think they're so pretty. This is amazing, Mychael. His usual prideful smirk was absent, replaced instead with a shy smile. I'm glad you like it. The sun was at its peak now, the air getting warmer as minutes passed. Oh, okay, it's the same. And then, let's try again. No, overwriting, no. I think they're okay. Mychael nodded, rotating his finger to watch the creature flutter its wings. I think they're fascinating. They're, metaphormosis? Metamorphosis? He beamed, nodding excitedly. Metamorphosis. My cheeks puffed in holding back the laugh. Mychael knew he fumbled, but grinned anyway. That word, he said. It's amazing. It's amazing to have the ability of being reborn into a different creature. He really hates himself, my poor little baby. The chance to look different. The chance to look beautiful. I scanned his face thoughtfully before pulling my knees up to my chest. It kind of is. You're already so pretty and cute, baby. You don't need to be like that. Okay. I was probably just being paranoid. And no, I already did that one. Dumb. I should be careful. I just couldn't shake the feeling that Mychael was hiding something. He's been a gracious host so far, but that didn't make him the most trustworthy either. There's definitely something I'm missing. My mind was wandering even as I undressed and stepped under the shower. The icy chill of the water did nothing to distract me from my nerves. If anything, it elevated it. I was a shivering mess by the time I was done cleaning myself with whatever soap he had lying around. Once I dried myself, I inspected his clothes inside and out to see if there's anything awful with them. They smelled like wet grass and burnt wood. Considering his lifestyle, it made sense for his clothes to have that sort of scent stuck to them, I supposed. Putting them on, it just reminded me how big and tall Mychael was, compared to me, at least. Fidgeted and fiddled with the sleeves and waistband until I could somewhat move comfortably. There's no mirror in his bathroom, so I had to assume I looked like a walking potato sack. Better than nothing. Gathering my courage, I shook out my hands and straightened myself before exiting towards the kitchen. Savory scent filled my nose. Mychael did mention dinner was almost done. As I entered, I saw Mychael by the stove, idly stirring something crimson in a pot and humming quietly to himself. His content smile widened as he saw me, his ears flicking. I tried not to look uneasy as he looked me up and down. How did they fit? They're all right. Much too big for me. He nodded, turning back to the pot. I can see that. Right. His smile faltered as he picked up the wariness in my tone. Is everything all right? His eyes held a sense of worry, his shoulders tensing. I can get you something else to wear if you'd like. There's no need. He paused, his hand gripping onto the ladle tightly as he continued to hesitate. Bere. There's another pause before his brows furrowed. I'm not an idiot. You don't trust me, do you? I flinched. Mychael looked hurt as he sighed. So I'm right. His ears flicked by the sides of his head as he turned back towards the stove. Can I just know why? His eyes were sad as he stared at the pot, as if he had been in this situation before. Hello, welcome back. Hi. I thought I did everything right. Truthfully, I didn't expect such a direct confrontation. There's a lump in my throat as my fist clenched at my sides. It's just... The kettle started whistling, but he was clearly ignoring it. I swallowed down my growing anxiety and decided to be upfront. I just didn't expect to be here again. It felt like the wrong thing to say when Mychael's frown appeared. So you never wanted to be here? I didn't mean it like that. Then how else could you possibly mean it? Another deep sigh slipped out of him as he reached to lift the kettle off the stove, mumbling to himself. I was hoping you would be different. What was I thinking? Well, if only you wouldn't, use your mind control thing to force us here, I would trust you more, babe. What did you say? Nothing. Mychael, His forlorn expression made my words feel thick on my tongue, forcing me to reluctantly swallow them back down. Any trace of suspicion I had faded and was replaced by a feeling of guilt. I'm sorry. I just thought I'd be home by now. I know. I'm sorry too. Lifted his gaze towards me, eyes full of regret. He's so cute. Oh, you should see his neutral ending. It was so nice. Skip ending number 2. Do not watch ending number 2. I beg you, do not watch it. I cried. It's horrible. But yeah, he's adorable. I love him so much. But is it really so bad, Biddy? I know being lost in the woods with a he was gonna call himself a monster. Baby, you're not a monster. Man you don't know can be scary. But I promise you're safe. The last thing I'd ever want you to be is scared. Culik dia lah, Kak. Loh, Indo toh. Dia yang nyulik. Bukan aku. He trailed off. So just trust me, okay? Can you do that? Please? I swallowed and gave him a nod. My gut still rolled with suspicion. Every fiber of my being wary of him to a certain extent. He seemed satisfied, though, eager to move on past the tension. Thank you. His mouth quivered at the edges, all 4 of his eyes squinting with the slightest bit of hope. Please, let it be different for once. Poor baby! I'm sorry, baby! I love you! I'm sorry. Okay, I want to see. There's like another option with the paranoid thing. So I flirted with him earlier, so let's just goof around now. I fisted the sweater by the sides, flapping it back and forth. It really was so ridiculously baggy on me, I had to sprout whatever nonsense that came to my mind before my brain could filter it. Look at all this free yarn real estate! Mychael did a whole body freeze, his hands stilling as the pot bubbled merrily. Free real what? Free yarn real estate. Supposed to make sense? Because it feels like another one of those things you say just to mess with me. I don't need to explain myself. He narrowed his eyes. Explain. I genuinely can't. Then why say it in the first place? By the look on my face, it was clear I was just messing with him. Mychael. Why does anyone say anything at all? Perhaps it was a spur of the moment. To express themselves with declarations of spontaneous whimsy. His expression flickered between confusion, doubt, and maybe even a smidge of grief. You make it a habit to talk nonsense all the time. Only sometimes. He turned his focus back on stirring, sighing heavily. I should have left you in the dirt. Darling. I gasped. Was that a threat? No. That was a threat. It was not. Oh, look at him. See, I like him like this. I don't like ending number 2. Jail for Mychael. Jail for 1,000 years. It's the Miet meme. I love the Miet meme. His ears flattened against his head in amusement, the tip of his tail flicking in painful irritation. I deserve jail for speaking my truth? Yes, absolutely. He laughed again. You're ridiculous, you know that? Hey, not my fault you can't keep up. I am what I am. A Grechken is what you are. What the fuck is that? I blinked. It sounded like he gargled a bag of marbles, pronouncing whatever the hell it was he said. Of what? His eyes squinted, a triumphant grin mirroring mine just a few seconds ago gracing his face. Doesn't feel good, does it? I scoffed, folding my arms as I leaned against the counter. Whatever. I can totally say Grechken. He burst into laughter. That is not how you say it. Grechken? That's even worse. Refusing to back down, my hand shot out to poke his side. Surprisingly, he yelled, his hand nearly letting go of the ladle. He's ticklish, baby! What was that? Wait a second. Has he never been? I gave another curious poke, to which he swatted away my hand with a panicked look on his face. Stop that! Are you ticklish? What does that mean? What did you just do? Oh, this is wonderful news. Before I could even consider a strategic frontal assault, the kettle started to whistle. Mychael turned towards it, clueless as to what would have ensued otherwise. Someday, Mychael, someday. That's so cute. Okay, that healed my heart just a little bit. I am less likely to cry. Okay, let's skip. Mychael startled, surprised to see me beside him. Let's try the garlic bread this time. Ooh, looks yummy. Regardless of how I felt about tomato soup, Mychael's turned out rich and creamy with an amazing balance of sour and sweet. The fragrant garlic bread added the perfect texture to the meal, practically melting in my mouth with every bite. Simple combination of bread slices, toasted with a buttery garlic spread, dipped in fancy ketchup has no business being this good. Firefly from Honkai Star Rail? If I am a mecha girl, I'd be really happy. Now that food was no longer a distraction, I felt uneasy again, glancing around the room and staring at the window. Mychael was eyeing me as he grabbed the stool and dragged it to the center of the room. Oh, actually, let's try like the other food, just so I could actually 100% everything. Just the soup. Got it. Right, already. I decided to have it simple tonight, opting out of any sides Mychael offered. Personally, I think it lets me enjoy the soup on its own even better, the richness of the flavor lingering on my tongue with every sip. Okay, that's it. Let's load. Mychael was eyeing me as he grabbed the stool and dragged it to the center of the room. Is there something outside? His question sounded innocent, but it had a sense of weariness to it. I shook my head quickly. Nothing, I was just... Something catches my eye from under the bed, glinting like a knife. Tilting my head lower, I could see it was a tin container the size of a shoebox. There's so many things that's different just because we are suspicious of him, and I think that's very interesting. What's that? Mychael looked up. Under your bed. Panicked look came across his face. Even the way he reacts, we read it differently. I really like this. This is very interesting. That thing? Just some emergency supplies? Yeah, nothing too special. I had an inkling he was being dishonest again, but I figured I'd leave it for another day. I see. I can trust you, right? A flicker of surprise crossed Mychael's face. Of course you can trust me. He didn't say anything else, as if that one line should be enough to convince me. And honestly, it was too late to start an interrogation that's only gonna end up in me feeling guilty for upsetting him. I got under the covers, facing the wall with my back towards him. I could hear him setting up his nest behind me before finally quieting down with a satisfied hum. I closed my eyes. So we don't offer him to sleep with us. Okay, I think this is different. Don't trust him. My eyes narrowed just a tad. Could I really trust his word? Did I really have another choice? Will you tell me what happened yesterday at the river? The river? I already told you what happened at the river. His voice sounds strained at the end. That's it then? You're just gonna send me home? He nodded. Okay. I paused for a moment before adding quickly. Oh, okay. Let's just answer all the bad options first. He's being sadistic. What kind of cold-hearted person says that? I could hardly believe how needlessly callous he was being. For someone so sweet with his... Oh. Please? My heart was torn as the rabbit helplessly kicked its feet, its cries weakening. For a moment I imagined Kneecap being caught in a trap just like this one, left to starve and die when someone could have been there to help him. No, we can't leave it like this. Please, Mychael? His harsh gaze started to soften at my plea. Does it matter that much to you, Firefly? I nodded quickly without hesitation. Please. It'll be the last time I'll ever ask for anything. He paused for another moment before shaking his head with a defeated sigh. Somehow I doubt it's the last time. There was a smile in his voice though. But all right, I'll do it for you. Sorry. Stand back. I have to pry it open. The gratitude was clear in my face as he pulled out a deadly-looking hunting knife from his pocket, kneeling down next to the rabbit. The terrified creature started to writhe all over again at the sight of a looming threat, Mychael grunting as he held it down firmly with one hand. It started to fall still under his hold, relaxing completely with its foot hanging limp. Huh, he sure had a way with animals. I backed away to give him space, not wanting to distract him. As he was working to free the rabbit, I looked around to take in my surroundings. Trees felt somewhat familiar, a flash of memory playing in my mind. Casting one last glance towards Mychael's back. Dumbass! No! I wandered a bit further away, making sure to stay within earshot. Dumbass! It took a few steps before I came across a familiar sight. Oh, it was the circle of mushrooms from the other day. I recalled that Kneecap was definitely here. I hesitated at the edge of it, a sourceless sense of fear suddenly coursing through me as I stared at it. Had it grown bigger? It absorbed Kneecap! No! The longer I stood there, the more the fear dissipated, my limbs tingling pleasantly and urging me forward. Before I realized it, my foot was already lifting to approach it. Closer, closer. Staring at it, a fuzzy haze creeped over my mind. My face was warm. I found myself smiling at the oddly comforting familiarity. Like recalling a fond memory, like greeting an old friend. Knelt down to inspect the growth, reaching out to brush my hand on one of the mushroom caps. Ah! That shocked me when someone yanked my wrist back. Thank you, baby. What? Don't. Huh? Don't touch those. Pretty. Shiny. I looked up to see Mychael looming over me, gaze sharp and irises shaped like thin silvers. Mau nanya dekat Indonesia udah pukul berapa ya? Di sini jam 7 malam. You have a terrible habit of wandering off, don't you? I gulped. How is the rabbit? Is it safe? His eyes narrowed as I failed to change the subject. It's free, like you asked. Don't touch those. Mychael squeezed my wrist before letting go. I rubbed my wrist. It didn't hurt, but his grip had intent. Why? What's wrong with them? Nothing. Just don't touch them. I just thought it looked pretty, that's all. Did you, though? I shook my head, feeling disoriented as my mind flickered between thoughts rapidly like a broken radio station. Mychael snapped his fingers for my attention. Look at me, Firefly. His voice was snippy and irritated. Uh, blinked rapidly to ground myself, scratching my head as I tried to gather my thoughts. Talk to me. Say anything. Some people think they're magic. Yeah, that's a pretty common belief with mushroom rings, isn't it? I hung on to that thought. Keep going. Like, related to fae folk, you know? It's why they're called fairy rings, or a fairy circle. Mikhail squinted before easing, his demeanor just a little less tense compared to before. They do look like they could summon a portal at any moment and whisk you away. I looked over at Mikhail, expecting him to look amused. Instead, he was glaring down at the ground, as if the mushrooms were the most vile thing he had ever seen. No, it's more of an invasive species than anything else. I followed his gaze towards the harmless circle of fungus. They are? Should we do something about it? He blinked as if coming out of a daze. No. No. Sorry, just a thought that slipped out. He pinched his nose bridge, his normally soft voice a tired grumble. Normally I'd leave them alone to do their business, but having you here... Anyways, just don't touch it, okay? He was being far too uptight about something as trivial as a circle of mushrooms. It feels like there's more to it than that. His sigh was exasperated. They just grew in my part of the forest, is all. They make me uncomfortable. It definitely felt like Mikhail wanted to use a stronger word than uncomfortable, a barely concealed growl between his teeth. Why? I thought you liked mushrooms. Mikhail's ears flattened. Not these ones. They're not even real mushrooms. They're not? No. He seemed to hesitate before blurting. They just happen to mimic mushrooms. Oh, I've never heard of something like that. Though there are some pretty wild foliage out there that could copy the look of nearby plants. Does it have a name? His brows scrunched in confusion. What, them? Yeah, as in the species? Oh, I'm not entirely sure. I can recognize them by sight though, so just stick with me when we're out in the woods, okay? Mikhail is a green flag or a red flag, actually. I think it depends on your reaction to him. But in the yandere scale, I put him closer to green flag rather than red flag. The yandere game I played before this, that's a red flag, kind of. This guy, I would still date him. Yeah. I really don't want you anywhere near them. Alright, if you say so. I just don't get how they can be invasive, is all. I consider it invasive when they come on my property. Is he really getting this angry over cute mushrooms? I'm gonna be really honest. You're acting really weird about it, Mikhail. He was getting more agitated the longer we stood there, hands clenching into tight fists. Well, I know I ask a lot from you, but please, let's just leave them alone, okay? Why? There's something you're not telling me. Look, can we just... I flinched, backing away from him as his voice rang through the trees. Yeah, I would flinch too. I'm scared of big noises. A silence passed between us before he took a deep breath. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, can we step away from here? He held out his hand. His fingers were trembling. Okay, so I assume if I take his hand, we can just go back to normal. I closed my hand around his, noting the way his tail flicked so hard it thumped against his leg. His fingers were calloused against my own, twitching at the unfamiliar sensation. I stepped up beside him, looking at him expectantly. Oh, I didn't think you'd take it. Now it was my turn to get flustered. You offered. I know I did. I thought it scared you, so I figured. We waited for the other to say something, our faces growing heated as seconds passed. He finally laughed, exclaiming something strange and garbled before squeezing my hand. Meadow, you're really something special. I hope you realize that. Gave my hand another tight squeeze, snapping me out of my daydream. Let's get you home, Firefly. As if you're allowed to get upset by mushrooms, I'm allowed to get upset about jellyfish. Interesting. Doesn't matter, does it? I shuffled my feet, feeling awkward now about my previous apprehension. Because we didn't trust him. Might have had my doubts about him, but maybe I was wrong after all. He did get me home, despite everything. I'd want to say thank you. Oh, okay, already. A small part of me couldn't help insisting that it was a bad idea, but I was too curious not to ask. Even though I didn't fully trust him, I still felt disappointed at his rejection. Though I couldn't help feeling like he had one too many secrets to keep, it wouldn't hurt to get to know him more and figure them out. I wasn't my best self in the last few hours spent with Mychael, being closed off the moment he held back information. But maybe a simple gesture could make up for it. Yeah, let's just see them all. Okay. Is there anything different? Okay, so that's it. And then number 5, back here. Call him out. No, enough is enough. You keep dodging my questions. Keep deciding things on your own. You won't even tell me what the hell is wrong with these stupid mushrooms. Are you ever going to tell me the truth, or am I stuck in this loop of doubting every single word you say? His hand dropped like an anchor. You don't trust me? How can I? What happened yesterday, Mychael? I stared up at him, my glare sending him into a panic. Do you really want to know? Okay, I think knowing next to these mushrooms are a little dangerous. My eyes narrowed. He flinched. I made you sick. Sick? He swallowed, taking a deep breath. I'm able to suggest things. Make people listen. I can make you forget fear. Mess with the thoughts inside your head. What are you talking about? Fere? I hope you don't hate me for this. I cried out as the pressure started pushing against my eyes. Painful, aching pressure filled my head, my hands flying to clutch at my ears. What? My head felt tight and full to bursting, crushed under a weight I couldn't comprehend. It was like I had painfully grown a second skull, and none of my thoughts fit in my own brain, pushing outwards. Relax. It won't hurt if you relax. Mychael! I inhaled sharply, feeling the unbearable droning headache growing into a painful spike. Were my ears bleeding or am I imagining it? Usually I have to be subtle, otherwise your psyche will try to fight back. Like it is right now. Stop it! The feeling faded instantly. It was only then I realized I was crying, my cheeks wet with tears and nose stuffed with snot. Why did you do that? I was trying to help you understand. By trying to kill me? No! I wouldn't have killed you. I made sure of it. Made sure of it? What does that even mean? I don't. I didn't know what to do. That was all I've ever known. You tricked me? Hurt me? And you dare ask me to trust you? I'd never hurt you like that, ever. I can promise you, you weren't hurt. It was all in your head. I balked at the audacity. And you think that makes it okay? He froze, expression growing pain. No, it doesn't. Oh my god, all three are bad. Oh, up. You're a monster. I'm sorry, sweetie. His eyes widened with hurt. Makan periuk, huh? Is that a song? I don't know. No, Vere, don't say that. But after everything you said, I was wrong. You don't mean that. You don't mean that. Leave me alone. No, no, please. Don't look at me like that. You're different. I know you are. We can start over. I promise. We can be friends. Are you serious? Get it. Friends don't hurt each other playing twisted mind games. No, no, please. Forgive me. Please, please, please let me have this. Please forgive me. His breathing grew erratic, gasping for air. Poor baby got a panic attack and it's my fault. Please, please, please. I can't lose you like this. I can't. I take a step back from him, the movement causing his entire body to tense up. Yeah, because of the fairy ring at the back. He suddenly lunged for me, grabbing my shoulders tight. No, no, I wouldn't hurt him! Somehow I was ready for it, shoving him back and slapping him across the face. Oh, baby, I'm so sorry. He stood there in shock, tears spilling over his cheek from the force. You really do hate me. Oh, that hurts so much, Vere. I'm sorry. Everything goes dark. Vere? Vere? Hmm? I shot into a sitting position, a wet lick trailing up my cheek as the golden retriever barked. I got down. I need to give him a hug. I need to draw him intensely after I finish stream. Mychael? I recognized that voice. A tall figure loomed into view, their long hair tied back into a messy ponytail. My eyes widened as I recognized the familiar face. Vida? You're back? My neighbor gave me a timid smile, fidgeting with the frisbee in their hands. For my semester break, yeah. Where have you been? I came by during the weekend, but you weren't home, and you weren't answering your phone either. We were on our way to the park when we found you. I glanced around, realizing I was sitting by the sidewalk. A few feet away was the edge of the woods right beside our neighborhood. Vida reached down and started picking twigs and leaves out of my hair, completely unprompted. Did you go camping? I don't remember. I stood on my feet, brushing off my clothes and fixing the bag over my shoulder. Oh, that's worrying. Are you sure you're all right? I think so. A shudder ran through me, my head glancing towards the trees. I saw a flash of yellow disappear into the bushes. So even after we slap him and we hurt him, he still takes us back home. Oh, he's so sweet. I love him so much. Maybe a bird? A butterfly, perhaps? Laika must have seen it too, as the dog started barking. Whatever it was already out of sight. I think I need to go home. Vida was about to say more before I sidestepped them, leaving them confused as I hastily made my way to my street. Reaching my home, I threw the door open and stumbled inside. All of my senses felt out of tune, like my brain was still catching up to my body. My bag dropped with a muffled thud to the ground, its contents a mystery as I wandered to the kitchen for a drink. Why did everything feel so fuzzy? It's like I was trimmed out of a straight photograph and pasted onto the scrapbook of a page where the memory didn't belong. Why? Why? Why did everything feel so wrong? I downed my drink, and another. My tongue was numb. Didn't feel like I tasted anything, or if my thirst was real at all. Maybe I needed a nap? I was about to shuffle off to my bedroom where there was a knock at my door. Confused, I hurried to open it, expecting Vida back from their walk. Nobody. Again. Fuck. Shit. Oh, my love. Oh, baby. Well, time to dust off my kalimba, I guess. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Glancing down at my feet, there was a circle of blue flowers placed next to a strange wooden box. It looked like an instrument. Did someone mistake my house for another? Picking up the items, my hands brushed over the wood and thumped the delicate petals. What a strange thing to leave at someone's doorstep. I feel so bad. Even if it was a prank, why leave these items specifically? I looked out towards the forest, a pang of something nostalgic striking hard in my chest. I've never set foot in those woods, never had a reason to. And yet, I couldn't help feeling like I've lost something. Something important. But if it was important, surely I'd remember. No! He made us forget about him! That's so sad! He just wanted a friend! At times like these, I am so glad I'm not a streamer with like a face cam, because I do not want my ugly ass crying face broadcasted to people. Fuck me. Hate this. Ending 4, Forget Me Not. Oh, baby, poor thing. God, fuck this game. I love it so much. So everything else is the same. Yeah, I'm not even gonna see like his reaction. I can't. Yeah, it's all the same. I'm not even gonna bother because it hurts. What is this? Okay, we already did that. You're crying? Me too! We can cry together! I feel terrible. I'm gonna draw him after this. Yeah. Decline. I shake my head. He looked dejected, but nevertheless accepted it with a gentle nod of his head. I'm really sorry for scaring you, Firefly. Are you okay? I'm fine. But don't ever yell at me like that ever again. His ears drooped, expression full of regret. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's get you home. Let's get me home. Love you. I'm so sorry. Okay. That was it for the game, you guys. Lots of thoughts about this game. It's quick. It's climbed up. I really love this game. I don't know if I'm like close to my period or something, but like I cried at 2 of the endings. And all I want to do is draw him, so you know. Man, I'm finding a lot of gems these days. Thank you so much for Kayla, who recommended me this game. It's so good. I hate it though for making me cry, but it's so good. I am so looking forward to playing more. Please check my description to see the game, like the link to the game. You can play this game for free, so please support the creators if you can. Give them money, please give them money to get the game. It's free, however. And if you're missing on the first part of the game, I also have a live stream on that. my internet went down earlier, so that's why the stream is in 2 chunks. But yeah, that was it for Mushroom Oasis. I didn't expect the game to be this good. Corpse Party, I know Corpse Party, and I've watched people play it. However, I do not play horror games usually. I am way too scared for that. So I won't be playing Corpse Party, I'm afraid. And also, I just don't think the story is very interesting. It's more like the shock factor that's like what makes the game so interesting. I prefer lore-based games like this, like story. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for joining. This game was super good. Please support the devs. Thank you so much. Bye bye.